In your, proper power state, this would be something that would happen often. You'd have a kind of innate sense for magic and this sort of thing, but it hasn't happened since your reversal recently.
Mm-hmm.
And you see nearby, you see Sean, your little black cat familiar, looks over to it. This crow in a tree nearby, leering is probably the word, right over, looking at you with a kind of twisted head expression. As you see it then reaches out one of its feet and beckons you forward, far too intelligently for a crow.
Mm-hmm. How high up in the tree is it?
Oh, it's probably about a head above you in height. So, I'm...
It's a very low-hanging branch.
Yeah, it's a low branch of the tree.
My height. Okay.
And you see as it comes through, you see it opens its mouth and says, Sibylla in a soft moon's glow, a master's plea and whispers low, 3 witches' hands to pact abide. Come to the woods where secrets wild, the ravens glide, its claw a song, to where the ritual shan't go wrong. In shadows deep our coven thrives. Come with me, Sibylla, my mistress invites. So then begins flying away to the northwest.
So I can follow it?
You can follow it, yeah. It starts flying off at a fairly leisurely pace. It seems like a very old crow. A couple of feathers fall out onto the ground. It's got kind of, not quite blind eyes, but it's kind of, fogged over looks. It seems to be navigating more on instinct than...
I was bidden to find a ceremony or something or other.
You as a witch, I'm not going to make you
in this general geographic direction.
You were indeed.
So I shall follow it.
Yeah. You would also know, within that little... in whatever it said there, you would recognise the word coven. Witches, hags, and a couple of other spellcasters and magical beings, when they unite in groups of 3, they can form a coven, giving them much, much more power than they have by themselves. As you slip away from the party and begin heading off to the northeast. You come across 2 figures standing around a cauldron. This is not in a glade or a
cliche here.
Absolutely.
20 hats.
Well, one of them is very much the cliche sort of thing: big dark cloak, this old weathered face, hunched over. They've got the ladle in the cauldron going round and round. You see the crow flies over and lands on their shoulder, whispering to them. The other figure is not your typical witch, but is definitely just as memorable. Deep sunken skin wrapped around bones. They are emaciated and thin, wrapped in an ill-fitting cloak. Their blue skin that you can see cracking in places, and their green hair wet almost like kelp or seaweed.
Would I be able to, I guess, what ability I might use to identify what that might be?
Yeah, so there's 2 things you can do that I'll let you do here. You can give me a society check to see if you remember these people, given that you kind of live in the area. I know you said Sibylla's fairly kind of isolationist in what she does, so you wouldn't know these people for certain. But definitely give me a society check, see if you know them. And the other thing you can do is give me a nature check to see if you can tell what or who these are.
Quick question, hero points?
Hero points, 2 for everyone.
I'll try the nature check. Well, I might have to burn it.
And could I also get the connect to GM stuff?
Alright. I'm going to just not...
I've just done it onto the
Sibylla doesn't recognise these people.
That's cool. Do you want to give me the nature check, try to tell what or who they are?
Yeah, I did. That was like a 6.
Wonderful. With a 6, you know that the person, the emaciated, thin person creature, it's a little vague, is almost certainly a hag.
Well, I'm kind of just taking her at face value.
Yeah, the old woman seems to be human by all accounts.
I'm not haggish, so.
Yeah. You would know hags are most hags were once human, but have been warped and changed by magic that has gone wrong into fey-like, human-like creatures. It's all a bit vague.
I didn't know there was a difference between hags and humans. I kind of just thought a hag was like an old hag.
Yeah, so in this setting, they're quite different. A witch is a human, like yourself. You're a witch. You may have been a hag before you reverse backwards, a choice I leave to
But
you.
you can turn into a hag.
Yeah, so if you use too much magic, if you try to cast a spell beyond your ability, or if something goes wrong, or even just long exposure over a lifetime of casting, you can begin to be warped and turned and changed, both in body and mind.
So could you say, and would you say the witches in the other campaign, were they hags or were they?
This is a
Was it-
bit of
is this
lore
'cause
more
it's a
specific.
different-
It's very, it's
Shouldn't
it's
try to
context.
draw comparisons.
Yeah, no. It's
a little-
context
hags in
specific.
D&D are just animal, like fully creatures. There's not really much change between them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a completely different thing.
Yeah, in this setting, hags are both human and fey, as well as some other things.
Mm.
So, definitely misusing magic is the most common thing that makes people into hags.
So don't ask them for a pie.
Very much.
Right.
You don't want to accept a pie from a hag or an apple from a fish.
Yeah, fair enough.
You see these two figures arguing with each other. You see the thin, blue-skinned one saying, I understand we've had our differences, but if this can do what you say it can, then I will help. You see the other, who appears to be the older woman, says, indeed. Ah, Sibylla, is it?
It is.
Ah, good. I'm glad my familiar here found you. I'm in need of your help.
Right.
I was hoping you would lend us your power briefly to form a coven. I'm sure you know of the oncoming parallax that we face soon, the magical tides. Yeah, big, naturally occurring thing. The strength of magic comes and goes over decades, and we're approaching a peak. There's a parallax.
Yep.
During that time, magic will be more powerful. Certain spells will work even better than they usually would, or all sorts of bits and pieces like that.
Mostly divination.
And an extra D8.
You're also
damage
approaching a
to-
full moon around the same time, which will mean divination magic will work really well there.
Oh,
You
So it's
see,
a double boost in divination.
neither of these people identify themselves. You see the old woman says, we hope to scry to see what other forces are interested in the town nearby. Lone Marsh is in a very strategic position.
what's your intentions with that match?
You see the two share a knowing look between each other. No words are spoken, but they seem to come to a decision. And the old woman looks at you and says, we have our own devices, as I imagine you do yours. We need not be aligned in goal here, just in desire.
Well, they did lock me in jail.
This will bear them no ill will. There are many eyes watching Lone Marsh currently, many seeking its position and the power that comes with this parallax. This ritual will allow us to know who else wants to be here.
And what do you require from me?
Merely your aid and help.
That's a broad request.
You would simply need to join us in the casting of a spell. It will take about an hour of your time. Mechanically, this won't burn any of your spell slots. This is a ritual. You'll make an occultism check. If you crit fail, something awful will happen. If you fail, nothing in particular will happen. If you succeed, you'll learn some slightly cryptic information. If you crit succeed, I will tell you flat out what things mean.
Okay.
You take part?
Yes.
Wonderful. It was an occultism check.
That would be a dirty 20.
Incredible. That's a success.
I get +7 for occultism.
Yeah, and your best skills as a witch. You see the three of you, so you agree to help them, the three of you come on, ingredients added to the cauldron, various sayings are spoken, spells cast, chants done. It's your standard sort of witchy type of thing. It's very straight textbook.
Sort of waving
I've
over.
eaten horn of toad, tongue of bulldog, thorn of toad, the whole kit and caboodle. At the peak of the thing, fog begins to rise from the thing and shapes itself as a giant eye that looks about the place, spinning and spinning faster and faster until the fog expands over you and you enter a hazy mindscape, effectively. You see several things. You see yourself standing in the middle of the woods. I don't have pictures, but yes, middle of the woods. In the sky, distantly on the horizon, you see a great number of eyes spread around like an insect. One giant one in the middle, bright emerald green, and they seem to be staring directly at you, making eye contact. To the southwest, you see
What other sort of contact would it be for a
precisely.
giant eye?
See to the southwest a chalice of wood with pure glistening
Yeah.
water in it. Yeah. I'll also send you a list of this if you like.
Yes, please do.
The wooden chalice begins to have this mold, this corruption spreading around it as holes begin to form and the water leaks out. As it does so, you see a little knot of rainbow light, constantly changing colours like light through a water droplet, move away from it, as behind the glass a great fire rears up, engulfs the glass in flames, and continues moving towards that one escaping light.
Mhm.
Finally, you see the city of Lonash seems to spread below your feet, as you see a dark shadow almost skulking around the town, moving from building to building, going unseen.
Was it like a giant shadow?
It's just it's very large, though you feel like size here may not be a literal concept,
Mm-hmm.
and you can feel the shadow is very afraid, as it is pursued by a single pale light lingering about the town, seeming to chase it. And finally, you see a little, almost in the dirt below you, this little glint of metal that doesn't seem to be moving, but just seems to be there as many people fail to notice it, sitting in a window.
Do I identify where the metal is in the map?
You feel like the location is not in particular. The chalice was definitely to the southwest, that had a direction attached to it, and the fires coming from it were moving towards the town, as was the light escaping them.
Mm-hmm.
But with this metallic glint of light, not so much, just seems to be in the town somewhere. This is a sort of tricky vision sort of thing. It's not so much a...
And whereabouts
particular
the eye
place.
was to the north, was it?
To the northeast.
So that way.
This way, to the northeast of the eye, and then to the southwest, the flames, the chalice, the rainbow light. And with that, you wake up with soft, cold dirt against your side as you lie on the ground. You see, as you begin kind of waking up, shaking it off, you see the old woman and the hag also getting up, shaking off that. You see the old woman seems to be feeling quite alright, gets up a bit faster than the two of you, begins gathering up a few ingredients into a bag, beckons to her crow, and says, "Give your friends my regards," and then begins hobbling into the woods and quickly disappears into the shadows. The thin hag kind of gets up, creaks around their bones a little, and says, "Hope for both our sakes we need not meet in the future."
Can you get a hearing aid?
Likewise. I shall return to the
And then they simply turn on the spot and simply disappear into the air.
Is the cauldron still there?
Cauldron is still there.
Is there anything in it?
Yeah, you see what looks to be, I suppose the term would be a spent potion. So the effects of this has already happened. It almost looks like a soup that's turned bad. There's, small bits of things in it. It's definitely not something you'd want to eat. And a big solid metal pewter cauldron.
Mm-hmm. Nothing else around it, no?
Nothing to do. There's a small wooden table with, like an empty bowl. There's some scraps of stuff used to make the potion, but nothing of need. There's a small crow's feather that's landed on that table as the familiar went away with the old woman.
Mm-hmm. I'll take the feather.
Yeah, you grab the feather.
I'll make my way into town.
You see, as you start heading south to town, despite the old woman having gone north, you begin to see her approaching.
Well, we meet again,
You see, she says, "Indeed."
and so soon.
So she says, "I had no desire for Adelas the hag to hear this, but I believe we studied under the same great mistress before her unfortunate retirement. You would know that you studied under the great Nimue, one of the most skilled witches of her time, long, long ago, before she was quite as famous as she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Nimue famously didn't take on a lot of pupils. One of the others that she did was Besser of the Lone Pine, who tutored, or was beginning to tutor
Mm-hmm.
Sushi.
Yes. I vaguely recall you. It was some time ago.
You wouldn't have met this person, sorry.
Oh,
This is more like you run into someone who says, "Oh yeah, I studied such and such degree as well. Did you have this teacher?"
Yeah,
you
not
weren't
like
such,
we didn't
sort
go
of
through class together.
No. But the significance is that that's like 1 degree of separation. You would likely know much of the same spells and lore as this person would.
Yep.
You see, they say, "I have had the desire recently to track Nimue back down. She has been missing some 2 decades."
Oh, okay.
Indeed.
This is only a small time in our lifespan.
Indeed it is, but it is long enough for many questions to require, many problems to present themselves.
What sort of problems?
Oh, I have something she would be quite skilled at solving. I think she always had a way with spells of the mind.
Yes, indeed.
But I just wanted to ask if you had heard of her, or if you do hear from her, if you could direct her my way.
And where shall I find you?
Oh, I am in many places. You need only speak my name.
Adeline.
No, Doris was the.
What
You
is
don't
it?
know.
Sorry. And your name is?
So he says, for many reasons, I prefer to keep that to those who need know it. And you see, she reaches into her cloak and hands you a small folded piece of paper with a wax seal. So she says, if you open this, I shall come.
Only once I know about Nimue.
Only once you know about Nimue. Yes, my time is rather precious. I have many things to see to.
Tuck it into my tattered rags.
Give me it'll be a heraldry law check for anyone that has that, but for the moment, can you give me a society check? You can't see it yet, but in the future, if you get credit, you can use heraldry law. For you, though, it's just a sign.
14.
With a 14, you don't recognise the crest on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not much more to say there.
Yep, fair enough.
As you see, this old man says, may the roads treat you well.
Likewise.
And begins hobbling off in no particular direction.
It's one of those ones where I turn around a second later and there's nothing there.
Absolutely. You in fact turn around, and where they were standing there is what looks to be a ancient disused scarecrow, kind of a rotting jack-o'-lantern on its head, what was once a kind of merry expression, horribly disfigured.
I'll say to Sean, was that a dream? And maybe get better with my cat noises.
What a thing to get. After that, I assume you make your
lap on your phone.
After that, I'm going to assume you make your way back to the glade, back to Low Marsh. Wonderful. And you'll meet up with the party around the time that they are heading back as well. They have been up to previously.
I did listen to the episode.
Oh, love it. Does anyone else want to recap, or are we good to go?
Yeah, that's fine.
I might faff for 3 minutes because then Jesse should be here. But
What was everyone's decision what we're doing?
We're currently heading to the People's Committee.
Well, that's where we're getting our reward.
Yeah.
yes, indeed.
But about the how that guy wants us to cause it. Oh, yeah, the guy wants us to steal the treasury
Nope.
to give you guys some practice.
Fake rock.
No. Nick doesn't like the idea of taking a dive.
Nick doesn't like the idea of telling Mordred.
No, and that too.
I'm just trying to get whatever it is that we're doing done so we can get the fuck out of town.
Yeah. Rosella wants to be gone by Sunday.
Like, out. Out. Bad shit is coming.
No, but there's something to be said about this town.
Bad shit is coming to this town.
Oh, yeah,
That's what she says about this
we
town.
went into one of the inns.
Yes, there's a
We
whole
got
thing
told
with
to
the
go
two innkeepers.
Oh,
That's right.
We've got Trevor Becker,
Yeah.
as well as Corpus and
Chops.
Briar.
Yeah.
Chops with a familiar face.
Chops with the familiar face. That's about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Trevor looks so dodgy.
They're all dodgy.
They're all very, very,
Trevor,
very dodgy.
This is a picture of a man you can
Well,
trust. I do
Everybody
my role
in this
within a
town's
second.
dodgy.
He's
Everybody.
the sort of guy I trust to sell my house. I think you'd get a good price.
But not buy a car off.
What a statement. That is fantastic. Other important people you've met who are about to become relevant again is, ignore the name on that, I've not seen that until now, Chairman Lewis Short of the Low Marsh People's
I've
Committee.
seen him before.
Yeah, he's of the Low Marsh People Committee. He is he's the head of the town government. A young, short elf man. And the other person you haven't spoken to but you saw in the tavern is Paul Goodget, owner of the local of Goodget Farms.
Good plough.
Strapping bull of a man 10 years ago and now a little bit past his prime, but still kicking on.
Hasn't discovered the thrill of using an ox to pull his plough.
Who needs an ox lad, is what he would say if he was present.
Eats the ox.
I believe. Oh, yes, and Officer Brennan Bradley, the closest thing we have to a town guard.
He looks like a gun, that guy.
Oh, yes.
May as well do that. while we're waiting
Chris,
for
I'll get you to do this as well, actually, because we're not connected either. If you go to Path Builder and then go to Options, you can go Connect to GM.
Options.
Mm-hmm.
Connect to GM. Yep. My player name?
Yep.
So
Who's
yeah,
the
so
dealer?
the only person that
so
knows
that's
we have to leave
My
is
human
Mordred.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
put both.
And GM ID.
Although he did vaguely say out
The
loud.
GM ID, sorry
I'm
everyone, I'm just going to read out a code. The GM ID is 54
54,
31.
31.
No space or nothing.
Do I have to remember that at all?
No, they only
No.
get that once. And then the password is Evergreen with a capital. That's
If
the
you
first
guys
thing.
see, there was a girl that popped up on my TikTok. They got a tattoo that was meant to say everything's fine, but the tattoo artist forgot the Y, so it's just ever fine.
I don't mind ever fun.
And then somebody in the comments was like, "Oh, you should just add don't question the Y." Underneath.
My kids
I
thought
think
I
Rush-
could get a tattoo yesterday, so they decided to draw on the text.
And then, Chris, I'm just going to turn on the optional settings we're using,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't affect this level, but will affect the next one.
Unable to connect. What did I type?
I'm able to change the domain name of the wiki because it is currently Evergreen instead of Evergreen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't actually,
Okay.
without either paying $9 or something atrocious. No, 19. It's something absolutely insane.
That's fine. Let's start with Evergreen.
Evergreen it is.
No, I just want this.
Oh no, that was intentional because it can't be Evergreen.
Okay.
Because it can't be the same domain as the last one.
And the irony being "geen" is a Dutch word meaning not or no. Like,
That's
Ooh,
deeply
It's
intentional.
not forever.
but the opposite.
Sunderance is coming. We're all gonna die.
Much like I can't call the boundary folder for this just Evergreen because I've already got one, so it has to be something else. And what I chucked on at the end.
Did it connect?
I'm not seeing Merida Rose. Lovely. Wonderful. Alright, I got everyone's character. It'll make things a lot easier.
I slightly changed my weaponry.
That's as long as you're still in the price range.
Yes, I sure was.
I've got you with a dagger, a shield, bow, and a dagger.
I know, I didn't mean 2 daggers. I was gotten rid of 1 dagger.
Shield? That's a cool sounding thing.
It is. So,
Ah, they did.
we do.
As the name implies, a shield bow is a bow with an integrated shielding surface. While versatile and effective, a shield's bow architecture limits its flexibility somewhat, decreasing its total raw strength and penetrate count.
I can see it being workable.
Was it
in that.
decreased range?
Yeah,
it doesn't
only
have-
by 10 foot.
It also doesn't have the. It's not piercing, puncturing.
Probably.
The thing where you add half your strength. It lacks that. Propulsing?
But if I get a critical, if the target of the critical hit is adjacent to a surface, it gets stuck to that surface
Oh,
on the
that's-
missile. The target is immobile and must spend an interact action to attempt a DC 10 athletics check to pull the missile free before it can move from its space. The creature doesn't become stuck if it's incorporeal, liquid, like a water elemental or some oozes, or could otherwise escape without effort.
I love how every single.
We do a
servant
fight on a
above
pirate ship, you're pinning someone to the
five
headmast.
caveats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get on a fight on a pirate ship, you're pinning someone to the main mast.
And then I also got grappling arrows. I got grappling arrows as well.
Nice, that is cool. I'm just going to update some parts, some stuff in found in real quick for Jesse. If he's not here in 2
I
minutes,
also got a
we'll just-
compass and healer's tools, just in case.
Do you have proficiency in medicine?
No.
You probably either want that or ditch the healer's tools. You need proficiency in medicine to use them, I think.
Yeah.
Do you study chaucer at all?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really?
They don't do it anymore because it was in the poetry course, but yeah, I did
I mean, it
Canterbury
doesn't say
Tales.
that I need
Ah, very
proficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
We only read the
Yes,
first
kit of
couple of
bandages,
tales, like the
herbs, and
Knight's
sick
Tale.
tools necessary
But,
for medicine
yeah,
checks
it's
to
fine.
administer first
Is
aid.
it translated
Treat
into what in
disease.
English?
The
I
one
think you'll find
yeah,
first
but,
aid checks.
I mean, it was
for
in
some-
one.
Can we get the book?
Yeah.
Tome
We did
of
read some Old English stuff though, and the lecturer could read in Old English, and it was very fun.
Wow.
It's a
Yeah.
nice.
Peter Holbrook, did you know? No, he left.
Being able
I was
to
gonna say, I
read
feel
in
like
Old
you wanna
English.
Show off that part.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and then they sacked him the year after. So
Do we have the cheat
Universities.
sheets as well?
They should be in
Indeed,
there.
They are in the book.
Oh,
the cheat
yes.
sheet. That's right.
Ah.
That's right. I have a different
They're also right here.
thank you.
Take one,
Actions.
pass it down, please.
All there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Who
like a
else is-
medieval movie where they actually put it in Old English and just had
That would be
Have you
subtitles.
seen The Witch?
No?
Well, the VV
The,
witch.
the Witch. The dialogue is taken almost entirely from diary entries of the time, so it's
Oh.
mostly historically accurate
Sounds
dialogue,
so
with a
good.
couple of exceptions. It's really trippy, but it's good. It's interesting on the sidewalk and begins
Investigation.
Stop
investigating.
sniffing the ground.
He just can't help investigating.
Heading into town hall, you are again you're seeing through fairly quickly, and you are taken to the Lomarsh People's Committee. The Lomarsh People's Committee consists of a
What is this?
number of people.
Why does this give the vibe of the People's Republic of China kind of stuff?
More the local homeowners association.
Oh,
You know,
I
That's
don't know what-
arguably worse.
that is.
you
I
know,
can tell you which one I'd rather chat with.
yeah. You know, if they have in
Chinese,
the
the ones I
country's
don't-
title, if it has Democratic Republic or People's Republic, it
It's a
generally
dictatorship.
is not.
They're
It's a dictatorship.
over-
Democratic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I have to
my
mention the
friend
word
is the-
democratic, there's a problem.
Mm.
Yeah.
People with Democratic People's Republic of North Korea, which is neither for the people, democratic, or a republic.
Exactly.
Like the Holy Roman Empire, neither holy nor
Or an empire.
Roman Empire.
The Lomarsh People's Committee, which is in fact by people in Lomarsh and is a committee, consists of one Mr. Lewis Short, the mayor.
It does what it says on the box.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
right.
very much does what it's sort of Father Sean Rothwell, who you've not met yet, but you've heard of mentioned a few times, is a middlingly powerful cleric and a local town vicar, as well as Mr. Paul Goodget, who you have seen about. There's also Austin Burton, Thaddeus Black would sit on the People's Committee, but is absent. As well as Matron Simone, who is the administrator of the hospice, who you've also met. They chuck her token over there.
Do they wear like wigs when they're in the People's Committee?
They've got like sashes,
Hmm.
more than wigs.
Mhm.
Orson Burton wears a wig, stands powdered.
Is there like seating arrangements like nearby?
It's so the People's Committee is kind of very much like a big table, but they all set up with various files and things around, and there's kind of seats around the outside, sort of double layered benches for like people who want to observe the committee. Or there's you see a couple of townspeople kind of there in the afternoon, a couple of people with books and that who seem to have like got a speech or something to give, that sort of thing.
Nick
It's
can
very low
find
stakes.
a
It's kind of
spot.
like the town council.
That's exactly what it is. It's
Nick-
instead of a like mayor or a senate instead of a mayor or like a steward, there are these half dozen people who more or less run the town. And local business owners. Lewis Short is the chairman.
I'm going to put in a development application.
Very
They'll review
much.
it,
You
yeah.
see, there's someone there with some
Yeah, that's
blueprints of
classic.
something they want to build another windmill.
Mm.
It's that sort of thing.
Nick
Yeah,
could
yeah.
take a seat somewhere in the back, but he'd sit down and put his feet on the chair in front, on top of the back of the chair in front of him, and just basically sit there bored.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is definitely not his place.
Look, you're
He's-
excited to finally join.
Got to
And the
prioritise your
school.
education.
Terrible.
It was school.
You've headed into the Low Marshes People Committee. Sibylla has had some interactions with some hags. Oh yeah, Sibylla, when you come back and join the party, do you mention anything to anyone? Chris?
I just imagine we all just turn to our right and Sibylla's like walking
Yeah,
beside us, like,
we
okay. All right.
Should we go in, guys?
Where
Yeah.
have you been?
Oh, I've been around.
In the woods?
Yeah, you kind of just disappeared there for a second.
That's a little bit vague.
Hey, I'm a vague person.
And the final benefit to a secondary windmill system would be to allow us to double up on grain production per year, allowing you to off the cost.
Have you considered the
Nick
drainage
will-
issues that could cause?
Nick will audibly yawn.
You see,
You just yawn.
give me a performance check.
Okay, this would be bad. I don't think I'm getting good performance. I do not. Still an 18.
Of course.
So with an 18, you see Paul Goodget, who doesn't so much have eyes as he has really big eyebrows and a squint. You know those sorts of people?
Yep. I'm aware of those sorts of people.
But casts his squint in your direction and seems to be considering like standing up and talking to you, but thinks better of it and gets back to
Oh, yeah. While he's yawning, he's thumbing the hilt of his sword.
So he's on the committee.
He's on the committee, yes. He's dressed in finer attire, but he is very clearly like he was a farmer. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, he ran the farm. He now owns the farm.
The calluses have dissipated.
Calluses have dissipated. He now wears, slightly, still simple, but slightly finer attire, and he doesn't have a plough with him.
Okay. That's good. He doesn't bring it to council meetings.
That would be generally considered a faux pas, so I'm told. But you see, after short deliberations, you see the voters taken on the secondary windmill, voted down by majority vote. Matron Simone seems in favour, as does Orson and Betty near the lumberyard, but nobody else seems too interested. There's a quick bang, and business goes on. You see Lewis Short continues. Oh, well, our old friends have returned from their venture. Please, come closer, come closer. Jump up and hobble over.
Towards the back, not so.
You've joined us in the.
Our kind matron here tells us you've done a great service to this town.
Yes, we took care of that whole problem for you.
Indeed. Yes, thank you for that. We've been talking and decided a reward is in order. Might we interest you in some silver? Would you like to pay you?
Yes.
Yes.
That would definitely help us
Very
on our
good,
journey.
very good. Your two inmate friends, naturally, have been cleared of charges, as was agreed. For the rest of you, 75 silver apiece.
Can I-
Silver handed.
Do we get silver?
No, because you
No,
got-
but that we
The agreement
our reward
was
is our
that
freedom.
We're letting you out of jail and overlooking the various crimes you've committed against our fine community.
Can Mordred, instead of taking the silver, say, I'd prefer these pieces of silver could go to the families of the soldiers who died.
No.
That's mighty kind of you. We have no means of contacting them, as they are from... I could send it to the capital with sympathies. Very well.
Yes,
Put that
otherwise it would-
75
Apologies.
silver aside. Take a hero point.
You'll actually hear Nick
yourself.
mutter, "Giving away good silver," and he'll shake his head.
The other three of you, being Big B,
Without corrupt
Merida,
government institutions.
and Rosella, have 75 silver pieces.
Cool.
You see, after the coins are handed out, the things are put aside. You see, Macon Simone starts writing down a missive. Lewis Short returns and says, "While you're here, is there anything else you needed? Being travellers in our community, we wanted to know if you were planning on staying."
Or are we planning on staying, or were we planning on moving off after that?
Lucy was gonna stay. I think.
Oh, I'm staying.
Yes, how's our missing treasury investigation?
It's still in its early stages.
Any resources you need, you can come right back here.
Merida
we
would
could
probably want
use-
to help with finding the treasure, because she knows how important that can be for us.
Absolutely.
We've discovered that the home of the treasurer is covered by some kind of enchantment. So if anyone could help us dispel that, that would be very helpful.
You see the vicar, a frankly very old man, almost completely bald with the thinnest wisp of white hair. What looks like was once a mustache, but is now more of a suggestion of a mustache. Far too thin for their kind of fairly humble black robes that they wear. Slowly stands up and says, "An illusion. I have some practice in magic. I would be more than happy to take a look if it could assist."
That would be excellent.
I believe my business on council for today is more or less concluded. There's a general, nods of agreements. People start closing books, putting quills and ink pots away, and they say, "I would be willing to have a look. I will attend the church and see to my duties, but if you need my assistance now or later, don't be afraid to ask. Have you visited the Immaculate Church of the Goodly Fathers left when renowned? Or the church, as we like to call it?"
Yes, we have.
"Oh, excellent. Good, good. Well, you know the way then." They begin very slowly hobbling towards the door.
Was there something else we need to do at town hall? I can't remember.
You don't need to. There's a possibility that you could find a spare key for the
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
you see people are starting to pack up and head out. If you wanted to ask that to everyone, you'd want to ask it now. If you wanted to just talk to Lewis Short, you could wait a moment or two. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I might just talk to Lewis Short.
Yeah, you kind of wait for everyone to head out.
He's the redhead guy.
Yeah, he's the elf with the mustache.
Yeah.
You see, he says,
not
"Mr. Bigby, what can I do for you?"
I was wondering if there was any spare keys that you know of to the entrance to the vault.
Now
big
that's something of a tricky matter. There exists one spare key, but it is locked behind a safe that requires 3.
And where's the safe and where are the 3 keys?
The safe is in the basement of this here building. I hold one, so just as I would be more than happy to help you in your investigation.
Mhm.
The other 2 are in the hands of Mr. Goodget and Mr. Burton. Burton is a sympathetic fellow, a deeply caring fellow. Mr. Goodget is he owns the farms. I would imagine you'd need to spend more time talking to one than the other, as it is. But could you convince them? They would likely lend the keys and we could retrieve the backup.
Sounds great. I'll see if I can do something for their services.
You see nods and says, I will be remaining here for the rest of the day. If you return with the other keys, I can unlock it for you.
Thank you. So it's Mr. Goodget, and he's long short, right?
Yes, Goodget is the farmer type.
Yep.
And Burton, Orson Burton, who would be told is the owner of the lumber yard. That's Burton. He was the one who was described as a very kind and caring individual.
Okay. Well, let's is the farmer guy still hanging around? Can I go talk
You
to
see
him?
they're beginning to leave if you get to grab them.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. You run over. Do you go to Mr. Paul Goodget, the farmer, or the owner of the lumber yard first?
I'll go to the farmer first.
You see Stone Man squint, and he says, "What do you want?"
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Goodget. Mr. Longshort over there informed me that you have one of the keys for the safe downstairs.
Indeed, I do. It takes many important documents. I don't like it opened if it doesn't need to be.
I am investigating the disappearance of the treasurer. And so, as part of this investigation, I would like to see the inside of the safe to see if anything is missing or if possibly any evidence of a struggle or anything is still in there. So I would require that spare key.
What is everyone else doing during this conversation?
Nick's varying between being bored, cracking his knuckles, and scratching his head.
Drusella is like sort of wandering up to Maud, going, "No, seriously, we have to get out of town.
You need to speak.
We have to be out by sundown. We have to be
Are-
out."
Are any of the head people still there?
Yeah, there's
No,
gotta be
like whispering in his ear. We have to be gone.
And then I'll say, we should ask them what's happening then. Maybe.
Schultz not paying you for this, is he?
Who? No, he's not.
Schultz, the champ.
Right? Oh, is he paying me for the investigation?
that's it.
Yes, he is. Well, he said he'd give me some.
I can tell you what happened to the accountant right now. He's been nabbed for the same people who've been stealing my bloody crops. Reporting a 12% loss in profits this quarter. 12%!
It's terrible.
Indeed it is. Paying the farmers these days can barely keep up.
Anti-capitalist.
Man's got to eat.
My mind, there's no need for us to hire some, and he just kind of nods vaguely at you, to work out what's happened with the mayor here. We can, not racism, just distaste.
Yeah.
There's no need for us to hire anybody to work out what's happened to our treasurer. They've been nabbed. Signs of others, you know.
You'll hear from the background.
Do you know why?
No, is that a technical term?
No technical term if it's smacked you in the arse, boy. Now,
And
Do you know
Nick,
why they
Nick
would
will
do
start listing off medical technical terms, nautical technical terms.
give
Just start
me-
listing them.
Give me a sailing law check.
I do have.
You do have sailing.
I do have sailing law.
7, I think it should be.
While all
Plus
this is
6.
going on, I'm going to be like attending to like the sandwiches and things that have been set out for the council because I was totally skint and I don't know where my meal
22.
comes from.
Absolutely.
22.
You start doing that immediately.
I like that.
This is
See, he says,
him and Ethid. We got lots of money.
gardens and farms
Sibylla.
I've been keeping. You see my wheat field. There's every sign of a struggle you could possibly imagine short of a pool of blood.
Do you know who would want to do this?
Steal from my farms, anyone hungry. Grow the finest crops this side of the bend, which you know is a river to the north of you.
Do you want me to investigate this for you?
What sort of rates do you charge?
If I can find the people responsible, how about 5%
Of
of your profits for the next year? I'll be saving you 12.
I run the largest farms in Low Marsh. 5% of profits is more than I take home. You would know, if you're interested, standard sort of wage for
Yeah.
a skilled worker is about 10 silver a day.
Yeah.
Your specialist, you could probably charge close to 15, would be a fairly reasonable offer. You can do with that what you want.
Yeah.
5%,
Fine, we'll make
you're asking for 5% of like a lot.
Yeah.
So he says,
That
I
is-
will
I'll be saving 12% though.
I could offer you
I
I
think
can
it's
offer you
valid.
12% off produce. But
How
not
about that
12%.
on top of 10
So do it
coins a
like
day as well as
Down
expenses?
the culprits.
I'll be booking you for expenses and keeping an eye on the numbers, but deal.
Okay.
He still has a very large, solid handshake.
Yeah.
He says, right, come with me to the farm then.
Alright, let's go. Okay, do you guys want to come with me or?
I think I would go with.
Don't we
She
need to
wants
go
to help
to...
you try and find the treasury.
I heard something about a river
Wait.
outside the town.
He offhandedly mentions
Unless
the
to get
Ven, which is a
most
river to
keen
the
to get
north.
out of
A river to the north. We should maybe go and check that out.
You really
It
want?
sounds important.
You really want out of this place, don't you?
You don't know that. Morden knows that. I was talking to Mordred in his head, and then unless Mordred says something,
Well, We can wait
Yeah.
until evening. If you want to go to the river.
we should go to the river.
He kind of looks nervously at all the other people, like, should I spill what's going on?
I see you do that and go. We should definitely go and check out the river.
Can I ask why?
It's clearly a very important clue that he has underrated.
Nick, I'm not
significantly.
going to make you do a check on this. You know, the Ven is a river that runs to the south of Pendragon, the capital of Camelot.
Yeah.
You will be arrested and killed if you go near Pendragon. Almost certainly.
I'd really rather not go that way.
Is
I may have upset a few people that way.
it
Well-
called the Ven?
The Ven, yeah, Venn.
That is a
Which direction
shame
from the town?
because that is where
The
we
Ven
need to
is to
go.
the north. I can
Yeah.
in fact.
Well, I'm supposed to
The
just
Ven,
take your word
you're
for
at
it.
Low Marsh here.
Yes.
The Ven is a relatively.
Don't know if you've earned my trust to that level yet.
Small river
Tortured your brain the last time we were here.
That's exactly my point.
Okay.
runs along this way.
I think we should go to the river.
There's a large bridge that
Oh,
crosses.
there is bridges.
Is it connected to the
there a
farm?
bridge, or do we have
This
to
is
find
this
a
is
ford?
bordering
He
on
said
a
there was
Uh,
in
no,
that
section.
Okay.
What's it for?
information you were just
Like-
given.
A shallow
There was
part of
something
the
about a
river
river
with
to the
Oh.
north. I
No,
think
no,
that's
They
important.
used to build villages around it, which is why in England there's so many towns with the name Ford Lake. It's not
I think
Brad
you just
Ford.
said something about having
Ford.
Or the Swedish fjord.
You just said that
Yeah, that's
he's got the biggest farm from the end of the river.
He said he has the best crops, not the biggest farm.
Oh,
just,
okay, the best
just
crop.
for technical.
Should we
Quality
speak with
over
the priest?
quantity.
Yeah, he
the
certainly
priest?
doesn't have the biggest. Low Marsh is quite a
Okay.
small town. Anyway, anyone not going to the farms?
I will go along
I really want to go to
reluctantly.
the bigger.
While going, we should be going to the river.
This is bordering on obsession.
Mordred still looks very nervous.
Some nice
You
Gothic
alright now?
architecture going on there.
I'm okay. I'm not
You're
sure about
looking a-
everyone else.
You're looking a little more anxious than usual.
I'll just stare at Drizella and keep my mouth shut for now.
You see, Good Get farms are huge. This feeds most of the town. Great flat area to the north, huge manor house in the middle, and just tons of farmland around it. You could walk probably 2 hours from one side of the farm to the other. Paul Good Get says, "It's over by the wall. Come on."
Right,
And
I'll follow.
begins leading you through.
So I find it strange that there's farms within the walls.
Can't build them outside the wall. That's right.
As he's leading me
It's
through
not
the
safe.
farm, can I just do like a general perspective?
Yeah, we've been outside the walls. It really wasn't safe.
Yeah, for sure. Give
Unusual
us,
on the
give us a
way.
perception check. You don't have any bonuses that I can think of.
Except for
That'll
your
be a
voice.
13.
Could you do some music?
Oh yeah, it's on. Sorry.
Oh, that's all
Keep
good.
turning it down.
I'm not very hearing it.
13.
13. With a 13, you don't see anything in particular. There's a lot of different crops. There's a lot of workers who look not unhappy, but decidedly like busy and a little stressed.
Does anyone look injured or anything? Like they're hurting?
Give me a medicine if that's a thing. Check.
It is.
It's their lash marks on their back.
14.
14.
Are they being
You don't see anyone limping. No one is bleeding.
Just checking.
Very well looked after.
Overseer.
There's some like crease lines in brows, but definitely not to a damaging extent. Nick, you would probably, looking at these people, it reminds you a bit of like men on a ship, if that makes sense. Of just kind of, they know that they've got lots to do and not a lot of time outside of it. As they hurriedly
It'll feel somewhat familiar to Nick, and he'll just like
weeding and harvesting.
just the amount of work that needs to be done.
Goodget starts talking about his farms as he leads you through them.
As he's talking, can I read his fate?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a 6.
Easy 6, yeah.
Fails, I'm afraid. Uncertain, I think is the response you get. But you see he marches through there. You see, as he leads you, you come near the wall, which you probably haven't seen in great detail. The wall around town is very, very old. Definitely, we're talking a number of 100 years old. Moss and rocks and that sort of thing. It is tall. We're talking 4.5 meters here. And from what you can tell, made up of these big, large, heavy stones that have been stacked together, fissured with mortar and that sort of thing. It's quite secure, but it is old. See a thin dust over the whole thing as the mortar has begun to crumble.
Can people walk along the top?
You don't see anyone walking along the top. In this town, In fact, give me an intelligence skill of some sort. Give me a survival check, I think. Oh, crafting. Crafting check.
Ooh, I like crafting.
Ooh, +7. That's good.
Yes, yeah. That would be 19.
People once could walk across the top of the wall, but it looks to you in disrepair these days.
Health and safety hazards here.
OSHA
Yeah,
violations.
it's also, on a very much pointed angle of crumbling rocks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a hell of an OSHA violation.
Mm.
You see, Paul takes you to a large patch of wheat near there that looks to have been terribly disturbed. There's plants missing, fallen over. You see a lettuce and a carrot patch just near that as well, with a number of the crops vanished. There's lots of leaves and dirt all over the place. It looks very...
Was the farmer using the crumbling walls to maybe advance his tomato plantation?
Oh, that's nice. No, definitely not. You see, there's actually quite a noticeable, looks to be like a measured amount of space between the end of any of the farms. And
Oh, okay.
fields.
Right, yeah.
They're even marked with stakes in some parts.
Alright, fair enough.
You see, the farmer kind of gestures around and says, See? Look at all this, I tell you.
How long has this been going on for?
Atrocious. This has been going on at least 3 weeks now. Sorry, months. At least 3 months. It's been small at first, cabbage here, a couple of plants there. But recently, we've had entire stocks, right? You see, he says, look over this one, kind of takes you, a little ways up the wall on this one. And you see a thing that was once full of what looks to be like radishes or turnips or something like that, that's almost entirely picked clean. That was gone 2 nights ago, that was full. Now, no.
Is it only in this area that they're taking stuff?
All close to the wall.
Okay.
Can I look for footprints or
Yeah, give me a
any
survival
sort of
check.
critters?
You see a lot of the dirt has been tilled since this has happened around here, so it's going to be going to be in the dirt kind of around the farm patches. You see, he says, the wheat one was the worst, so I've kept that field as it is. Not much to do saving
That's
the crop anyway.
16.
Yeah, not much. Definitely something's happened here, beyond just pulling
Like I can't tell the difference between this human or animal.
You can't find the footprints for 16 there. They're not that easy to find. But you see, what you do get with the 16 is that, like, if you'd just gone up and pulled the fruit, the vegetables out of the ground, it wouldn't make this much mess.
Whoever it is bloody sloppy.
You see, they say, well, you say you're a detective? Detect.
I'll have a look around. Right, I'll look at the first thing. I'll look at this is the wall.
Like it's a lot of mess for just stealing some cabbages.
Imagine like a
So-
wolf with a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Please.
Should I use my architecture
Takes that
law?
one off and puts the.
You absolutely can use architectural law to look
Yeah,
for
I'm going from Benedict
Absolutely. That's what it's there for.
14.
Well, first things first, you couldn't huff or puff this one there.
Mama.
For that.
That was good.
With a 14, you're not going to get a lot, I'm afraid. You have a look over. There are no grooves or holes that would be used for like pittons or climbing hooks or anything like that. There looks like 100 meters to the right there was what were once stairs to get on the top that have since been like destroyed and crumpled down.
There's no like easy holes. that
No,
like
it's
someone
because
can
it's
come
rocks
through.
and mortar. It's pretty flat.
Yeah.
You give me a survival check.
I was going to say, yeah, can I go looking for like
God.
freshly dug earth away from closer to the wall? Like they've tried to dug under the wall.
Oh, yeah. Give me a nature check. I think that'll be
9.
9. You definitely
What is it? What were you looking for?
Holes and stuff in the wall.
Yeah. With that architecture check, there's definitely no holes or anything. You don't think anything would be able to climb this wall.
Yeah.
From your understanding.
Can I run my hand along the wall? Just walk along?
Yeah.
Since we've seen an illusion,
Illusion.
recently.
Yeah, give me
It's not a bad
blind
idea. 16 looking for holes. Freshly tilled earth.
Or you can try to look for a
13?
spell, which is arcana, I think. 16.
16.
It's gonna be
16.
the same.
With a 16, you don't find any holes. You see that, in fact, the earth around the wall looks to have been... With 16, you'll be able to identify what it is, but it's harder than the stuff around it. It's not
A little more compressed.
a little bit. It's something's been done to this to make it hard to dig in.
13.
13. When you have on the wall, nothing seems to happen. I'll remind everyone at this point how the help action works, which is that multiple people can give the help action on one check.
There's a plus one. I think.
It's only plus one, but the math in Pathfinder is really quite specific and tight. The difference between a 16 and a 17 is huge.
Does everyone have a help action to give? Or
Everybody can do a help action, absolutely. You just need to
Let's all
you'll
stare
need to-
really hard at the wall.
So you need to explain how you're doing it as one, but then also you roll a check, and you need to be a certain DC to help effectively.
I want to have a look at the ground next to the wall and stuff.
Yeah,
and
for
see if
sure.
there's anything
Give me. You can give me another architectural
Can
check.
I help?
Can I help?
Absolutely. Can the both of you please give me? Neither of you have architectural, so can you please give me?
Oh no.
What?
Kaboom!
what happens.
So, which way?
Craft.
Hey, you're not rolling ones tonight.
16.
16.
10.
I'm afraid neither of those are sufficient.
Make it
More
turn to
people help
the
take checks.
turn to the guy and go, have you considered sabotage?
You see, Paul says,
After all that.
of course, the only other
What'd you get?
meaningful
Nice.
thing in the only other meaningful farm in town is Tally. Runs the windmill and the grain estates. It's possible, but
Because this looks like a lot of mess just to steal some shit.
well, here's the thing: if it was sabotage, he'd be doing a better job. You know, Tally's no dunce.
Well, it'd be easier to
they've
just
been
poison the
competing
crop.
with me for years.
It'd be easier to just poison the crops.
Or salt the earth or many things.
Yeah, exactly. You know, fire would.
Whoa, Deanne, you're gonna hate me. Whoa, that's a natural 20.
Incredible.
Yeah, for 23.
You have, you've investigated, you demolish buildings occasionally. What's happened to this ground is it's been double baked. So it's had, they usually use fire spells. They'll get someone who can sustain a fire cantrip and just roast the earth, which effectively turns it into like kilned, what's it called?
Bitumen?
Yeah, pretty much. It's baked earth, so it's
Yeah.
really quite solid compared to normal dirt. It's
Okay.
very hard to dig through. They'll do it around the edge of castles and that sort of to stop tunnels as Nick suspected.
Okay, yeah.
What's interesting is that while all around the wall has been done many years ago, there's a couple of weeds springing out to do it. You notice a section that seems to be not newer than the rest, but something's not quite right. It seems to have been. It's distinctly different. And as you go over, you kind of push, and you realise that just underneath this layer of double baked earth is hollow as you knock on it. There's a slight
okay.
sound of echo.
Ah, there you go. I thought they were tunneling in.
Might be a secret passageway in. Alright, can we, does anyone have any digging tools? We can see if we can pry this thing open.
You see Paul Getgood pulls up his sleeves, walks over to a nearby barrel and pulls out what looks to be a hoe. Says, "Stand aside."
Fantastic.
Big cloud of dust. You see he claims through one hit surprisingly easily, as what looks to be a kind of a latch that was cracked down the middle that he hits just inside as you see a tunnel.
Yeah.
So Paul Getgood says, "Huh, well, yeah, I never noticed that. Well, you might have some good eyes on you, indeed."
I did something!
I succeeded at something.
Okay, should we follow this tunnel to see where it leads?
You see, he says, "You're welcome to. I certainly won't be."
Alright, I will.
I would, yeah.
You see,
I'll
he
bear
says,
with
just a minute before you go.
Mhm.
You see, he scratches his chin and face and says, I was hoping this was somewhere in town, but there's tunnels going out, and I don't think it would be.
Probably not.
There's
Highly likely it is not. Unless they're
rumors
smuggling things out.
of a camp nearby. Plague colony, red-eye folk, never seen it. Crazy people. They're the ones that make the camps. There ain't much chance of reasoning with them. I'd be obliged if you'd take them out everyone's misery.
It's still people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about just taking out people. They might be stealing for
Look like people. They'll rip your throat out with they'll rip your throat out with their teeth. Maybe not, people.
Well, we just killed a bunch of people that could have ended up the same.
They could have ended up not having it.
Yeah, but I don't think ghouls would be stealing vegetables. They'd be trying to buy us.
These ain't ghouls, this is red eye. Drives you mental and mad, loses
Oh,
your
that's the
vision.
disease.
Oh yeah, sorry, this is
Yeah,
red eye condition,
Yeah.
plague been
We
going
all know
around.
They're growing too much
Rabies,
Okay.
claustrophobia.
Okay, it might be a bit of a mercy to put them down then.
Exactly. You would know from your days on the ship if a pirate gets red eye somehow, they are thrown over.
Yeah.
If you're kind, you put them in a rowboat and just kick them out to sea and see if they make land. But most of the time,
Just
over
throw
the
them.
side.
No,
No,
I don't really want to catch this red eye stuff. Maybe we should just seal up this thing and leave.
Well, it has to stop. Well, they've already dug in once.
I'll
They're
pay
Let's
you
go throw
triple-
something in it again.
Doing it again.
Sorry?
I'll pay you triple if you deal with them.
Oh, okay.
Triple or what?
Triple of what I'm paying in. So
Make
Sorry,
it 5
still.
times.
There are
50 silver.
Yeah.
No,
We just
no,
got paid
six.
75 for
Oh,
this.
highest.
well, there's-
Six times.
Well,
There's six of us.
There's 6 of us.
it's a,
I'll pay you per
I won't take
person. I'm
it.
not a monster.
Oh.
So,
30 silver apiece for a mercenary job.
oh yeah,
No,
okay,
no,
if it's
I
per
mean,
person.
30,
Is 35.
silver a piece is 120
It's
silver.
25.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought you were saying just that was all.
No, that's
But if it's
180
per
silver.
person,
That's a decent roll.
should definitely
there are
know.
ways and means.
Cryptic.
Have any of you,
Oh, this one's vague and cryptic all the
have
time.
any of you caught red eye?
Does it look
No.
like I've got
No.
red eyes?
If you catch red eye, you don't get over it. Very rare.
Just for
We wouldn't, have
clarification,
got, we wouldn't have gone into
just for
it.
clarification, does this cause a redding around the eyes, or does it cause your irises to go red?
Causes you to get bloodshot eyes.
Okay,
Short,
Just-
bloodshot eyes.
just
Confusion and
just
then
wanted that
followed
clarified
by, aggressive.
for no reason in particular.
There are ways that you don't want to kill victims.
If we could do that, I think that would be best.
Yes.
What?
But you can cure them.
We're getting paid to kill
I,
What gives you the right?
But hang on,
I'm
hang on.
getting
It's a
paid.
bloody
This-
big axe.
Hang on. You're missing the greater point. This is an incurable disease. Are you saying you can cure them?
I'm the walking proof of that.
What?
Ah,
What?
strange company.
I said this more to the guys and quiet.
If he's standing there with you, you can wait for him to go away, but otherwise he will overhear.
Yeah, okay. We shall. We have a way we can do it. Well, multiple ways we can do it. But do we accept the
Well,
task?
When I was on the ship, we just
Good
tie them up and throw them
balls.
overboard.
30 silver.
No. You said gold.
He
No.
definitely doesn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, gold's
Each-
like platinum and
each-
stuff.
Gold is yes, a lot.
Each?
30 silver apiece, yes.
That's like that's 180 silver. That's not bad.
I need you to bring me back proof they're dealt with, yeah?
Yep. That's fair.
What do you need as proof?
Well,
And
head.
head.
Head. Eyeballs.
Pretty standard.
Red
Do
eyeballs.
you really want to be touching red eyeballs? I don't.
You just pull them out.
You just.
Or take them
spit
with
out
the head.
spoon.
Do you happen to have a burlap sack on you?
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't want to touch the freaking things.
Yeah, of course, it's a farm. You see, he literally takes 3 or 4 steps, sack.
That'll do.
He pulls out 3 or 4 potatoes.
Oh, I'll take potatoes.
Ways and means, my friend.
Can you
Boil
help
them,
these
mash
people?
them, put them in a stove.
Right? The same way I help myself.
Could you give us just one straight answer?
I used to
And
be.
where have you been?
Yes.
That's just as important.
It is a dramatic way of fixing it, but less dramatic than chopping off the head.
Let's stop going around and around. How?
Chopping off
Exactly
the head doesn't
how?
fix it. It just
At
stops
this
it
point, when the
spreading.
negotiations are settled, Paul wanders off.
Fair enough.
How?
You can find him in the manor house.
Stop being so loosely. Just stop being loose about it. Tell us exactly how you did it.
Let me say this.
No, just say it.
I'm 95 years old.
You look like you're 7.
So,
So you de-age yourself out of it.
yes.
Would you
You reverse
de-
the effects of time to back when you didn't have
Can
red
you
eye.
do that? I mean, now?
Well, if you can get, if I
That
can
sounds like
procure the right
dangerous magic.
ingredients,
I'll let you attempt that as a ritual. It'll be a high DC.
it's going to be like get some. I'm going to have to go into the forest, forage some
so-
bits and bobs.
Is this going to be a regular thing where we have a really easy solution, which is chop off the heads
Yes.
or burn everybody in
Look,
the
we seem
hospice?
very
And we
divided, whether we
take-
kill some
and-
and heal some.
And we take the
So,
complicated
Convoluted way.
healing approach,
Mechanically,
which is
one of the
overrated
reasons part
and
of
occurs
condition
in the
to spell
town. We
is
should
you
really
have
go
to
to
check.
the river.
Yes.
I'll let you do this as a ritual. I'll finalise the rules.
But the only thing is, in order to
But it takes a day of downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can all help.
We do
anyone who's
not have a
trained in
day
nature
to
or
play
autism.
with. People.
No, we won't. In order to create the potion to which to de-age them, each potion, the final ingredient to add to their cup of potion is an item of them, such as a lock of hair. Because it's personalised to the
This all
individual.
sounds really complicated. Wouldn't it just be easy to kill him?
Yes.
No.
That's a thing.
Wouldn't that be
Okay.
like a
Good
lot
one.
easier to just kill him?
Yeah.
Because like I said,
It's in
on
my
the ship,
imagination.
we just tie him up and throw him overboard.
Yeah.
Special ingredient.
Better than them going wild on us while we're asleep.
I am a member
Okay,
of
polyjuice
the
stuff.
Medicasters, Northern Medicasters League,
But so we
and
have to still meet
killing
these
them
things.
is an entirely
See,
reasonable course
look,
of
The
medical.
Medicaster says we
The
kill him.
Medicaster's policy for Red Eye is
Kill them.
if you're rabid, you're killed. If
It's-
you're getting your first symptoms, you're sent into the woodlands.
It's in the handbook that Matron Simone gave me when
so-
I joined up
So the
of
captain
things
was right.
that we should watch for.
Yeah,
Red
which is true.
eye plague, kill them, cast them out a long way away.
See that
So
dirty
the-
look there? That's what you're getting.
That's
at the moment.
that's the recognised treatment.
So what
You
you're telling me
use
is the
some
captain's
attitude,
right,
girl.
putting him down's a mercy.
It is the correct and recognised treatment plan,
Well, I say we put him down.
Merida. Three medicine.
and get paid for
Actually,
it.
I'm gonna make a
Bonus.
secret.
30 silver, that's a damn good price.
It's a decent day's wage.
180 silver between the
And
all
get
of us.
one pig.
It's damn good.
You would know.
You normally have to raid 2 or 3 ships to get that.
There is a traveller of sorts who claims to have a cure for it, which you have heard both word
Anyway,
you don't know what this is.
Yeah.
You don't know the cure.
Mordred will say, well, maybe we can cure them, maybe we can't. I'm not gonna kill them.
That's
I have
okay.
heard
You
of
can
a-
watch.
You do not have to participate, but I have heard of a traveller north, closer to home, who claims they have a
Where's
way of healing up north. In,
On the ship, we had,
North Tim.
on the ship, we had a really, really easy solution. It's called walk the plank.
Twice 10 turns of
But-
houses bite.
but if
It
there's,
worked.
if there's
No one else on the
a
ship got it. It was fantastic. We only
That
got it
was
when we
an
went to
chance.
port.
We don't have the time for it. Let's go.
Yeah, your method will take a full day of downtime per individual, so that will be 6
Whereas killing them is only going to take 3 or 4 seconds.
Let's go. I'm going. Who's going with me?
I'm with you, Bigby.
Bigby enters the tunnel.
Well,
I feel like
Who
my
goes in
moral
after
compass is more aligned with Mordred here.
Hell yeah.
Merida's very. Because,
Yeah, like
because
Nick
of
hasn't
the
killed people
stories he's
before.
heard from about this traveller, it's 50-50 of whether it's going to work or not. So, like, Merida's on the fence. Merida's not quite sure what to do.
Yeah, the 3 of us are on Team Kill.
I recommend
we're on team with it.
Heads into the tunnel.
We're on
Who
team
follows?
Merida.
Team Murder?
Merida goes second.
Team Murder.
I will follow.
Does this quack prescribe a course of leeches or something like that?
A document of leeches.
Are you calling me a quack?
Drizella
No.
goes under
The
into
traveller
tunnel.
that I
Who
Oh
follows?
yeah, that
that
quack.
has a
If Mel goes in,
Notorious
Mordred
quack.
will go in.
Mordred goes in.
If it was quack, it was more of a quack. It'd be a duck.
Mordred goes in. Who follows?
Is Nick
Nick or
going in?
Sibylla?
Nick's going in.
Nick goes in.
Yep.
Sibylla up the rear. You begin traveling.
True.
Honestly,
Anyway,
so
maturity level.
childish.
incredible. You begin heading through the tunnel. Bigby, within a few moments, you realise this is not like just going to pop out on the other side of the wall. This is going for some distance.
Is there? Sorry, how did we get through the water?
There's
There's
the
a
tunnel.
hole.
There's the tunnel.
Oh, tunnel.
There's a
Tunnel.
tunnel.
You recognise that this is mechanically this is a small space, so everybody except Sibylla is squeezing through this, which will have implications.
I'm glad I didn't transform.
As you're shuffling through,
One is more comfortable.
what's your perception modifier? Just hypothetically.
My one?
Yeah.
+5.
It's pretty
Wonderful.
You're like Winnie the
I don't know
Pooh
how I
in
feel about these secret
in
rolls.
Rabbit's Hole.
I love
You read that?
Absolutely.
Or
You just
I
like
love it,
making
but
people
I
panic.
also don't love
You
it.
get stuck in Rabbit's
like,
Hole.
You just like
If
inside.
what you tell me about this traveler is that true, or was
Yeah.
that false?
Exactly.
Or...
Wonderful. As you're going along, you start
only
to
know.
hear scuttling is the only sound. Hurried, kind of shifting over dirt, coming from the head of the tunnel.
There better not be critters down here.
It is, by this point, pitch dark in this tunnel. Or it starts to get darker and darker. Does anyone want to... Lighting a torch down here is probably not
the best
feasible.
idea.
Okay.
You could do it, but you're likely to get yourself burnt.
I've got low light vision if that helps.
Low light vision will help you to a degree, but very quickly we're leaving low light into darkness.
Dark. And I don't have dark vision.
Yeah. Very few. I don't actually have dark vision.
No.
We're going in blind.
You head in blind.
Mordred's becoming increasingly
What I
ill.
was tempted to do for this section was get everyone to close their eyes. But you all need your sheets in your hands, so it'll ruin it too quickly.
Let's go for it. Let's give it a crack.
As you head in pitch darkness, secret check. Oh, that's an interesting result. So big leading the way. As you go, you kind of reaching out, you see the path turns to the right. As you go around, you see ahead just the faintest little glint of light that's there for and then goes. Do you do anything?
That was creepy. Does anyone else see it or just me?
You're at the front, so you turn the corner and
Yeah.
see it. You can proceed and let other people get around the corner, but for the moment, you're at that sort of junction.
Okay. I saw a little light and it went again. I don't know if that was someone's eyes or something, but
It might have been the opening to
It's
the tunnel
still
closing.
what?
Might have been the other opening to the tunnel closing.
Could have been. Oh, let's hope it's not. Otherwise, we'll have to turn around. Let's keep going.
You continue going forward. One more
Sorry.
secret
I
check.
whisper that.
Give me a stealth check.
Stealth check. That's another natural 20.
Yeah.
We can barely hear him.
Yeah.
We can just
The 20.
hear
I think
him.
I have a rival at the table now.
Perfectly work out how the echoes
rolled
will
four
travel down
terrible
the
rolls.
tunnel and just whisper backwards so no one ahead will hear.
It's like Chinese whispers. You whisper it to me, I whisper it back. So.
I saw the light at the end of the funnel. Ooh,
Some bald head at the end of the tunnel.
you are lucky tonight.
Oh.
I like that.
Are we?
As you
or
are
are you
going-
bluffing?
Going along, you feel on the side of
I think
your
that's
cheek this drop of water.
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 Liquid.
Oh, okay, liquid. Okay.
And then as you kind of look up to see where it's from, you see above you, skulking, one hand against the tunnel, two legs and a dagger in their hand. You see the flash of light again from the eyes as what looks to be the roof of the tunnel, letting in enough light to see this outline. A goblin that stands there and just drops from the top, trying to land a dagger attack on you.
Is it just the one goblin?
Just the one goblin. However, you
We
roll
can't.
higher than them in initiative. Which means
Oh,
you can
okay.
take 3 actions as they're falling towards you.
Sick.
The rest of you are in initiative order, however, you don't have line of sight on the creature, you can't move past it being the thin tunnel, and you can't shoot spells or make range attacks.
Is he within
past it.
15 feet of me?
What's the marching order? 5, 10, 15, he is within 15 feet of you. You can't really block with your shield though, can you?
It's not a shield thing.
Oh! By all means, then you can use your reaction. But you've got your 3 actions. What would you like to do?
I need an action sheet. I don't have it.
Oh, would someone like to pass one down? Alternatively, you can just say what you'd like to do, and most likely there's an action for it because it's a good system. If slightly complicated.
Well, since I don't have a lot of room,
You have
I
really,
kinda
so
like
this
the
is where the
idea of
squeezing comes into it.
Yeah.
Squeezing, you're going to take a -2 penalty on just about everything.
what about my katana?
You can draw a weapon as one action. That'll be your
Yeah,
first.
so the katana is it's those like things that are on your arm. So like daggers that
Oh,
come out of your arm.
yeah, I know the ones you're talking
Yeah.
Um,
So I still reckon I probably still have to draw it, so I'll take the action.
You
for
will.
that.
It's got the agile trait, so you'll take less of that multiple attack penalty, but you will still take that flat 2 for squeezing.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And
sure.
still does take an action to draw. You can get quick draw weapons as a
Okay.
thing later on, but for now,
In that case, I might
it does take the
use
action
something
to
else.
pull out, which is your first action if you want to do so.
Is there? Sorry if I missed this, but is there a thing with Digby if we're in a tunnel? Are we still in a tunnel?
Yes.
Is he standing up?
No, you're crouched down low.
So does that give him some sort of disadvantage or something?
Yeah, so that's the squeeze penalty.
Oh, sorry,
That's
minus
the
one.
-2.
All right.
That's right. There's quite a few things going on at once.
I'm gonna use my lion scythe.
Lion scythe, love it.
Do you want combat music now?
It'll be quick, but yeah. Well, it'll
So
be
that'll
quick, or it'll
be- Alright, so it's one action to pull it out, right? And
One
then
action to pull
another
it out.
action to make my attack.
attack. Second action to strike.
This is why I want to go into unarmed.
And then
I don't
so
think
that's
an action roll with a weapon.
a 19 with the -2.
19, you take your scythe and get a solid hit into this goblin. Roll us some damage.
That's gonna be 6 slashing damage.
6 slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
How do you take out this one-line goblin?
Whoa, he's dead already. Okay.
It's a goblin.
Yeah, okay.
don't have
it's a scythe, so I guess I'll just cleanly cut his head off.
Blood pours over you as this thing above you loses its head.
Does it splash onto me?
Does
Give me
it
a
splash
con
onto
saving
Mordred?
Oh, what? Sorry?
There's no concept.
No, because you're
Give
behind
me a
Fortitude.
save, please.
You're behind me.
Oh, that's a
You're directly
natural 1.
behind one of the...
My natural
point, hero
23.
Hero point, hero point!
Do we start with
You've got
time?
two,
Two.
you've got two.
Two.
hero
Two.
points.
Okay, yeah, I'll use a hero point.
Use the hero point. I'm going to do a flat 50% check to see... Did you roll
Don't tell
another
me
crit
that.
fail? 20.
Nice.
Why do you use a hero point?
For
That
a
one
total
turns into
of
20.
what?
For a total of 26.
Yeah, your fortitude should be huge.
Um,
Your footage is something.
That just reminds me of there's a song going around on my TikTok at the moment. It's like that's the one.
You hail from Xander originally, the city where Red Eye first came.
Yeah.
You have been for more years than most. You know what to look out for. You know not what to do. You know as soon as there's blood moving around, shut the eyes, close the mouth. And while the blood's on your face, you spit it away from your lips, and you are.
I reckon because I've got the top hat, I would have just like
Yeah,
shielded
for
it
sure.
with the top hat, and then
Okay,
I
but a hat covered in blood. I did a flat check. I got a 20, so no, you're fine.
Good.
Goblin is down. Body kind of
Bigby,
lands.
what's
on
going
the
on?
skinny tunnel, but you can now stand up. Get out the tunnel.
kill the goblin who's guarding the entrance.
So we're gonna wait
Nice.
for blood to get out.
Yeah, just keep your eyes and your mouth closed. Don't get it inside yourself.
Fucking wonderful.
Do you pop out this latch?
I'll have a quick sneaky look if I can. In fact, actually, no. You know what I'll do is I'll actually put the top hat out for a second to see if it gets shot by an arrow or something.
That's a good idea.
That's actually not a bad
World
idea.
War One trenches.
Yeah.
That is not a
I'm not
bad
sure
idea.
if you knew me too well there, or if it was obvious. An arrow through the top of the top hat.
Son of a
Please have
bitch!
everyone
You have to get a new
roll
top hat.
initiative. I'm going to get you all to roll acrobatics instead of perception because you can't be squeezed.
It's the same for me.
Acrobatics.
16.
Woo!
Hold those numbers in your head if you do so.
What,
Carl.
do you add anything to your initiative roll?
Perception.
Acrobatics.
Oh, you're adding
No.
acrobatics and stuff.
Oh,
Acrobatics.
my
It's just a
apologies.
skill check.
Apologies. Yes, 17.
17. Just hold those numbers, sorry.
I got it.
C's. Alright, Mordred.
Yes.
You're
16.
60. Nick,
22.
22. Drizella,
10.
10. Bigby,
22.
22. nicely done.
Rolling well tonight.
Sibylla, you're actually
Cleanse your
size
dice.
small, so you're not squeezing.
No, I think I
through
found
this
out
tunnel.
one
You're
of
kind
these.
of like on
It's
hands
the gold
and knees,
dice that rolls terrible.
freely. You can
So the big
use
heavy one?
acrobatics.
I haven't
You can
got that
also use
tonight.
perception,
And I found one of these two
which might give you a higher
rolls really well. The other one rolls
Perception.
really bad.
Yeah.
And because they're identical, I got to figure out
yes,
which one's
yes,
which.
yes.
Yeah.
21.
And I think I was rolling
I'm
a bad
alternating
one
for the
for the
There are
starting
not
one, and now
three
rolling a good
small
one.
thing.
Many.
And
16.
16. Wonderful.
I can hide in your top.
All right.
That's an advantage.
Big B.
Watch
you
me pull
are
a
the
gnome out of
first
my hat.
to act. You have your weapon drawn already.
I'll just leap out.
Yep, you leap out. You see you see 4 goblins, a human, and what looks to be some sort of bugbear type yeti, hair everywhere creature.
Oh, jeez.
You see one of the goblins is tied to a tree and is just screaming incessantly and screaming. Just the whole
Okay.
time. The rest seem not that rapid.
Okay, do they have red eye though?
They
Can I
do
tell?
indeed.
Okay.
You can see with a fairly quick look, red pupils, some of them, bloodshot eyes, dripped in sweat, jittering. They seem to have some remaining faculties, but not a lot. You seem to be in the middle of a small camp. There's a fire nearby, 3 or 4 tents. There's a rack with a number of vegetables on it, that sort of thing.
How far away are these goblins?
Insignificantly.
Okay, yeah.
One stride movement will get you there. You hop out, which is going to be one action to climb, and then another action to stride towards one if you want to.
Okay.
So, one.
Will it cost me another action to point at one and say something?
You can do that for flavour fun. If you want
Yeah,
to
just for
demoralise them,
Yeah.
that will be an action.
So I'll just like with the scythe, I'll look at one and just go like, "Should have stayed outside." Wah!
Go for
Like
it. Give
a
us an
snake.
attack.
Combat music now.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus! That'll be a hero point for sure.
You've only got 2, so that'll be yours.
That's
tonight.
all of them. Yep.
You can win them
Okay,
back, but,
Has been
that'll
held.
be a 21 to hit.
that will absolutely hit this goblin. Nobody here can actually roll small enough damage not to kill a goblin on a hit, so you don't need to roll damage.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just to save time. Unless you're trying to do something else funky with like non-lethal and that sort of thing, but even then you'll just hit the goblin.
Yeah.
These are
Ooh. Chop this
not
one's head
particularly
off.
strong foes, but they are dangerous to get right. Scythe Goblin is down. That's 1, 2, 3. That's big down. Nick, you're next. You are second to the rear in the tunnel. Most likely you can't do much this time.
Very convenient that I rolled the highest.
You can do any sort of like prep stuff for yourself if you want to, like, if you have anything to
I'll-
refresh or anything like that.
I'll draw my sword.
Yeah, you shuffle around, draw a sword in the tunnel. Sibylla, same thing.
Oh, hang on. How far, like, movement speed wise, how far in the tunnel am I?
You can't physically move past the person.
I have an ability that can negate that.
You can't move through a solid object.
Don't need to move.
What's the ability at all?
My laughing shadow technique. I can teleport 15 feet.
You could teleport 15 feet directly in the air, would get you out of here. But let me
I don't
check
think. I
something
think I have to be like. I have to know where an enemy is to do it.
Yeah, you can't see any of these enemies currently.
Pretty sure. I'll have a look.
Yeah, most likely people in the tunnel can't do a lot on their starting encounter. That's kind of the challenge of this one.
Can we use tumble through? It's an
Yeah,
action
I have to be
to
within a
move
reach of the creature.
Not
I have
while
to
you're
teleport to
sweet.
within reach of the creature.
Yeah, thought so. So you can do prep stuff, that sort of thing, raise a shield, that sort of one. Sibylla,
For my
you're
sword.
right at the back of the tunnel. Do you have any actions you can do without moving around or seeing anything?
So I can't see the enemies at all.
No, unfortunately, you've got to get out the pit first. Most likely, you're going to have to burn this first round.
Okay.
Just if you have stuff like, if you raise a shield, or if you have any spells that work on yourself, I don't think you do.
No.
Wonderful.
I'm having a better time in this session. Already, I've got 2 kills.
17 AC for one.
Bugbear's like big. Yeah.
It's tall, but it's like medium size of a cat. You see 2 of the goblins go for you. Jesus, miss. That'll be miss. Goodness me. One of them walks up with what looks to be a rusty nail as a knife and just tries to shank you with it and just cannot, is hitting your coat but just not doing any damage at all.
You're
Second
crazy.
one comes in, does get a hit.
Is he within 15 feet?
Yes.
Lives of redemption. Once. Yeah.
That is enfeebled 2.
It's the choice one. Glimpse of redemption. Do you want me to read it out?
No, sorry, I'll grab the description. That's your reaction there.
Not waiting for you.
Close, blah, blah, blah. You see the red in its eyes clears for a moment as it takes a few steps back and looks very confused.
Shows not to.
Third action, this is an attack, stands there effectively. Mordred, you are 15 foot away from Bigby in the tunnel. The eyes on it.
First action, I'll raise my shield.
Yep.
Second action, can I shove people in front of me?
You'd be shoving Drizella into Merida, so I'll give you a -5 penalty. You can try.
Yeah, I'll try. Why not? I won't succeed. This is me we're talking about. Oh, natural 20!
Yeah, I was like, I bet you're going to succeed as well. And it's not actually
Finally,
going to
my
be a good
first
thing.
20. That's 27.
With a -5 penalty.
Oh, with a -5,
22.
22 will still do it. You put that in. Merida, you move right underneath the trapdoor. Drizella, you move forward.
Mordred will be like, sorry.
Just pushing everyone along.
Just shield wall. That's action.
Moving,
You got one action left. You could draw away. Lovely. Merida, your turn. You are right underneath the trapdoor. You can jump out and join Bigby on the surface.
Yeah, I will jump out, join Bigby, and then I will attack with my bow.
Yep. Would you like to fire at one of the 2 goblins, the human or the bugbear? There's no turn basically, so that's sorry.
No, that's fine. Can I first do my hunter's
Sure can.
hunted shot on the bugbear?
Certainly can. You see this big, hairy creature. These bugbears tend to live in the woods at the best of times.
That means I get my hunter's edge, doesn't it?
Yep, there's no extra damage.
I'm using a hero point for that because
By all means.
4 dice. That's much better. 17 plus 5.
That'll do it. That'll do it. You hit, no need to roll damage. It is shot out right into it. Trick in this fight is not getting rid of the enemies, it's making sure they don't bite you. Following that is, you see the human. Human is completely unarmed, drops onto all fours, and then starts running towards you. Merida. Your armor class currently is 16. That's a miss on their first action, and a miss on their second as well. You see they go to try and actually just bite at your ankles, but you'll just give their head a quick kick, keep them away. Drizella, that's you. You're next in line in the tunnel. You can jump straight out if you want to.
I am going to... Yeah, I'll take an action to jump out.
Yep.
And then
action climb, action, so that puts you right near the...
And then what can I see?
You can see one human attacking Merida, 2 goblins around, and the one that's tied to the tree.
Can I...
So did you kill the bugbear?
Thrashing climb. Bugbear's done.
Bugbear's done. So, am I within touch range of the one that's attacking Merida? Yep.
You'll take 1 stride action to get there,
And...
Mordred gives you the
which will be your second action, so you'll only have...
Yeah. No, that's fine. So I will approach that one, and then I will use an action to guide Merida.
Nice.
So that gives you a +1 to an attack saving throw skill check.
Walk up, Merida, you feel your aim become truer. The one of the goblin going to run up to Bigby
It gives you some dexies.
One dash action, one attack. That will be a
Magical
hit.
Adderall.
Is this a new round?
This is the end of the first. Still the first. That is 6 points of slashing damage.
Is this to me?
To Big B, yep. And I need that fortitude save, please. By coincidence, you've picked your 2 disease-related quests and done the combats right next to each other.
Do I know
that'll
that we're
be
outside the
22
walls of the town?
Unquestionably.
Oh, I'm much happier. Not that you
20
could actually
24
tell that.
fortitude.
You
22.
think I'm happy because I'm in a
Right side of
battle.
the town.
Sweet.
But yes, you still take that piercing damage. And then
Knew we should have come out here.
next, last action misses.
The team out, yes.
The one chained to a tree for 3 actions. Big B, that is you. You have a goblin running up, unarmed, wearing little more than rags, just trying to bite at your legs.
Right. I will take a swing at that.
Wonderful.
Nice sword. Oh, Jesus. That'll be a 9 to hit.
9 to hit does not cut it, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'll go for the second one. So what's the
Multiple attack penalty is -5.
Unless
You
it's an
will
agile weapon.
likely find that attacking 3 times is not the best use of your turn.
So that'll be a 14 this time.
14, that does not cut it either.
Damn it. Okay.
You can take the third shot at -10, or you
Yeah, I
can
don't think.
try something else. Nick, you're on deck. Mordred is in front of you at the time. Anything for your last action, Big Ben?
Can I shove him?
You certainly can. Give us an athletics check. I believe. Yes.
That'll be a 23.
23 absolutely does the trick.
Get away from me!
Shove. Would you like to shove or trip them?
Shove.
Shove, you push them back 5 feet. They'll have to use a whole one of their actions to move closer now.
Right.
Nick, that is your turn. Mordred sits in front of you in the tunnel. However, there is spare space in front of them. Push it forward. You could push him forward. You could also, I'll let you use your laughing shadow to go in front. Just hold over the attack.
No, the attack part's optional. I can choose to or not.
There you go.
Yeah, Nick would be getting a little claustrophobic in this tunnel.
You hear the
So
sound of
the
combat
fear would kick in, and
You appear in front of Mordred, and you're then free to take a move action to pop out
the shock of doing it again,
Mhm.
he'll and drop his sword, just out of sheer shock.
by all means.
Shit, and straight up.
Is that an action or a bonus action? Sorry, is that an action or a double action?
Dimensional assault. It's just an action.
Wonderful. You do that. Second action to jump out the top.
Yep.
You have 1 action left.
Is there anything within reach?
There's no any melee range in front. You can use your third action to move, or you can use any one of the other abilities like taunting them or anything like that. You have deception. You could go for a feint attack, or I think it might require melee range.
I think it does.
Yeah, you need to be within reach, I'm afraid.
Can't use demoralize.
You can give.
An aid.
You can aid. Absolutely, you can aid. You just make an attack roll and choose someone to aid. You'll give them a bonus to aid its attack.
I like Bigby.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
I'm afraid that's not quite sufficient. You go to, pipe Bigby up or whatever it is you do. How do you try to help Bigby?
Hit that one!
Unfortunately, doesn't do much. Sibylla, that's your turn.
I'm busy!
Because you're small, you can tumble through Mordred, so you can use 1 action to move, 1 action to tumble through, and then another to leave the tunnel if you like. That'll be your full turn, but you'll be out of the hole.
So I can only use my turn just to get out of
If
there.
I get
So,
diseased
because
again,
you're
I'm gonna
behind
hit
Mordred, you can use 1 action to move, 1 action to squeeze past, and then 1 to climb out the hole. So that will be your turn. Otherwise, you can stay in the hole and perhaps do something from there. Presumably the latch is open, so you have line of sight out. That might make it difficult for Mordred to move out. So your call.
So I can't. Can I see any enemies if I do the second option?
I'm afraid you'll have to commit to moving first.
All right, I'll move.
Wonderful. You move and squeeze past. You can indeed see two enemies: the human and the goblin who's been shoved back. You have one action left.
No,
Your spells
I
attack.
won't do anything.
Might I recommend aid action?
Okay, I'll do an aid. What do I do there?
You make a attack roll.
Are you
And-
still in the?
Who am I aiding?
Yep, still in there. Or alternatively, you might want to hop out of the tunnel so Mordred can.
Yes, I'll hop out of the tunnel.
Wonderful. You
So
time
Mordred
on
can
out.
get
I'm afraid that marching order was very important earlier. I just didn't hear you.
This one has two.
Goblin goes for you, Drizella.
Okay.
It was more our initiative roll was really important.
True. Miss on the
Probably
first.
should have lined up in the initiative order.
Miss
we didn't
on
know
the
what the initiative was
second.
until we rolled.
It's just what happened way after.
And miss on the third.
There's no way we could have
You
known.
see them
No.
nobbing
I just
at
got
your
really
new
lucky that I
fancy
got the roll
mage
highest.
keeper duds, but does not do anything. Mordred, that is you. Tunnel is clear.
But
Yeah.
that was-
Alright, I'll use my movement to get out.
Movement to get the end. Action to climb out. That's 2, leaving you with 1 action left.
And I presumably see a bunch of dead things on the ground that
Yep.
my friends have just killed.
Now, but you have to climb over a dead goblin to get out of the hole, and then you've got 2 more right.
Mordred looks slightly terrified, and then I've got 2 actions.
They attack
1 left.
One left.
1 to move, 1 to climb.
Okay, and then he'll use his action to demoralize. His eyes will kind of flash a little bit, and he'll look at the closest one and he'll be like, "Run! They will kill you."
Terrifying.
Hey, you're
give us
not wrong.
The intimidation.
I don't have my lethal weapon on me right now.
Has it dropped? Can I
in the
use my
tunnel.
blessing of the goodly father, which he gave me? It was +1 to the roll for the next
Ma-
one.
He used magic again. Okay, it scares the shit out of him.
That's going to be 21.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really needs
Not
to get
quite
control
critical
of this
success.
quick.
Definitely works.
Yeah.
That one comes frightened 1.
Yeah.
Freaks out.
Yeah.
Merida.
Mordred is kind of freaking out as well. Considering
You got one that's trying to attack Drizella, one
Oh,
that
but
Bigby's just
it's
pushed
gonna be
away, one
lethal
that's
attack
tied to a
when
tree, and one that has not engaged with you yet.
It's going to be overboard. Leave a human from there.
Which one's the human? The one that's
Human's
attacking Drusilla?
Yes, I think so.
Because it was running towards me.
Mm.
So I don't want to attack the human, and I don't want to attack the one that's tied up. So
That leaves you with the goblin who's frightened and shoved back, or
Yeah.
the other goblin.
I couldn't have gotten within
I'll take the
15 feet.
goblin from furthest away.
You can. I've got, yeah.
I will Hunter's thingy on the goblin that's furthest away.
You can do that. Your damage in this fight doesn't matter particularly, so you could
Okay.
save that action if you want.
Okay, I'll save that. I'll just shoot.
Oh,
at
Just
the
for
goblin.
reference, Galen.
Mhm.
When I took my levels of Magus, it lets me pick 2 spells, but I've only got 1 spell slot.
Yep.
So I've tossed a coin before I came to what spell I had prepared. Because you can prepare them at the start of the day, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't used the spell slot since we prepared the
You had the fire one, didn't
yeah, but I've got 2.
you?
So I've flipped a coin as to which one's prepared because you can't control the magic yet.
Oh, sorry, I
That's-
thought
that's
you
a
were doing
cool
something
mechanic.
tricky there.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means, that's cool.
That's a 15.
So I
15 or
don't
Did
know
you
what
get-
spells I can do. I
Did
just
you get
do.
the guide, the aid from?
Cool.
With the aid to a 16,
Yeah.
it does hit.
I've got to have it random
You
until
take out
this.
the goblin at the back.
Drizella aided you earlier.
Zelda indeed.
Forgot about that.
Your bow, guided
Reminds
by
me.
Drizella's clerical magic, the arrow flies true.
Hero point for that?
It's gonna be good.
For
But for you, for remembering.
For helping out her.
So,
Yeah.
sure,
Yes.
not a hero point.
I'm back in the
You
game.
reminded me of something, so
what you like?
That's not becoming standard practice, but I'll allow it this was.
I reckon it should be while we're still learning things.
Yeah.
I quite like that. I remember stuff. It doesn't usually happen. Can I have a hero?
Yeah.
That's
It was
your first action.
exceptional.
You've got 2 more.
Um, okay. Okay.
There's one attacking Merida in melee range, one being pushed back from Migby, and the thing type interest.
Wait, the one that
Is it going to be
I
a regular punch?
demoralized, is that one dead?
Nope, it's not.
Regular punch or haywire?
I
Oh,
will.
crap.
So you just killed
Take-
one of them?
I've
Yep.
just killed one. I've just killed the goblin that was furthest away.
Yep, leaving us with one human, one goblin, and one goblin title tree.
I'll go for the second goblin and I'll just attempt to shoot out with my next.
Yeah, that's a -5 penalty.
Is it?
Yeah.
That says my attack.
So
is
it's
plus 0.
yeah. So your
attack
that's
plus
so it's your modifier take 5. So it'll be 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I forget that it tells you that
That's an 18.
that will hit,
Damn, I'm not going to get to do
taking
it.
out the one that was frightened by
Nice. That-
Mordred.
Son of a bitch tried to bite me.
As an arrow in the chest, goblin falls down, twitches a little.
Mordred was very upset.
That's your
They
second.
attacked first.
You've got
They might have run.
one more action. They were
There's not enough. Not enough.
They
of the
attacked
world.
first.
Mordred knows last
We
time
were
he
just
did this, they
protecting
ran away,
ourselves.
So, yeah.
You've got
Yeah, but
one
we
more
were first in pools.
action if you want to use it. You can take a third attack at -10, or you could aid, or you could do. You've got a couple of other options available to you with your proficiencies. You could do a feint on the remaining goblin, which will do you better next time you go to hit it.
Does this have the equivalent of dodge?
Not really, no. Not without like special charge.
Can I start moving towards the goblin that's tied up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dibs.
Yeah, it's well tied to a tree with what look to be old rusted chains. It thrashes around.
Do goblins speak common?
Those that can speak can.
Can I try and ask
I
it
think
why
this
it
gets
got
you.
tied up? Possessed.
What languages do I know?
He's possessed.
Madness.
Which is
Pretty sure
goblin
that's-
for hello, my name is John.
Hang on.
Goblin,
I
goblin.
think I speak Goblin. Don't I? I do.
Neato.
I know Goblin, so I know what it's
Goblin
saying.
as well. Actually.
It's not speaking.
But yeah,
It is
it's
gibberish.
random.
It's gibberish. Drizella, that is you. One
I do speak Goblin.
human is left.
Wonder why.
And the human is right next to me.
Melee, yes.
Right, I'm going to flens the human.
No.
Alright. Has anyone. You haven't used this yet, have you?
No.
Give us the attack. Let's see what happens.
So it's a touch spell.
Yep.
So it's a living creature.
I wish I could
It
give
is.
redemption. Gazella.
I mean, mechanically, you could.
He
It would
attacked
just be
me
a-
first. So that is. So that's 18, 19, 25. 25.
Yeah, I
Very.
know.
Oh, you got. Did you get aid from someone?
No, gave.
No, he
guidance.
gave it to a big baby.
Very nearly a crit hit. You reach out, extremely solid touch, and please tell me what happens to this rabid
Please
red.
don't.
Okay. On a hit, the target takes 2d6 slashing damage, so we'll do that first. But Flens, strips it. So basically,
Is this a flame spell?
yes. Flaying, yeah. Internally flaying. So basically, with your touch, it just rips all of its skin and muscle and internal organs out. So that's 9.
Friendship ended
Yeah,
with
it's
Gazella.
Is it dead?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
There couldn't be a worse form of death than that.
Okay.
The
Now,
face
now,
is just torn from its body.
so Nick knows Drusilla does magic, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just gonna pass out. He's just gonna pass out.
Nick drops.
Out.
Mordred looks horrified.
Like the
Wait,
things her touch this goblin and this human, and then flesh just. No, he's out. He's out.
Merida would be very destroyed by this.
Drizella goes to Big B. Do we get additional pay for style points?
We should.
Yes.
You should get his pay. He didn't even do anything.
Passed out.
Is
I think
Is
he
it
may
the
benefit.
one on the tree?
I
Is
think
it
he
back to
may
me now?
benefit for
We're out of
some
initiative
more.
order mechanically. The thing on the tree can't take action.
Well, I'm walking straight up to him and just chopping his head off.
Yeah.
Actually, does anyone try to stop Big B doing this? Because we're out of initiative order. Just hypothetically. How do you
Nope.
stop Big B? What do you do to attempt to stop Big B?
He's got like a long coat, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up and I just grab the tails of your coat.
And Bigby just
No,
shrugs the
Can I
head
shrug the
off.
coat off?
I will let you shut
Here-
the head off.
Can I say-
You'll take the attack with a -2 penalty.
Hearing the commotion, that'll wake
You
Nick
can
back
say
up.
something as well.
Yeah, can I say they're already chained up? There's
Hold
no
on a
way
bloody minute. I can speak to him.
He's not speaking.
He's not saying anything.
You're passed out. Shut up. The commotion woke me back up.
There is not a spark of recognition.
God.
of humanity in this thing.
Damn it, that's a bad roll.
So can we tell if he's been taken by this red eye sickness or?
You just use so. They seem to be rabid, devoid of any kind of thought. Their eyes are bloodshot.
Frothing at the mouth.
So then,
Yeah, frothing at the mouth.
It's only a 12.
Merida
12, they're tied up in a fence.
Yeah.
Session.
would turn to Mordred
Axe,
and
head on.
Oh, okay. So it does.
Merida
Does the
would
blood splatter on
Left
Mordred
in
a bit?
twain.
A little bit, not enough to worry about contagions. If it's not like
But for
up
sure,
like
that.
So
Yeah,
waking
for
back
sure,
up,
but
hearing this,
little
Nick will
dogs
turn.
on the face.
Merida would try and come over and try and comfort you by saying, unfortunately, he was just too far gone for
So,
help.
Nick comes
It
to
was
hearing all
a
this.
mercy killing, for sure.
Yep.
Nick comes to hearing all this. Will stand up, storm straight over to Drusilla. What the bloody hell was that?
Drusilla,
Dead,
you've got
isn't
some
it?
stains on your boots.
That was horrifying.
They're black. You can hardly tell.
And I'll
I'm
turn around
like-
to Mordred and just go, touch me.
That was bloody horrifying.
Or what?
I didn't know magic
I'm
could
just
do
saying
that.
don't touch me again. I'm not saying or what. That's not a threat. I'm just saying don't touch me.
Mordred completely runs away from the battlefield
And
starts going
like
back down the
you'll
tunnel.
see Nick look at his hands.
Yeah, alright.
I don't wanna be able to do
you
that.
Into the tunnel, passing yet another dead goblin.
You need to stay conscious to be able to do that. So there's no
I
fear
vote
so
that
far.
3 of us get paid twice, and the 3 don't get paid.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not my fault. Everything was dead when I came up here.
Well,
Did you go back to the farm?
so are you heading
I
back?
run away.
Oh,
Where's that
I didn't kill the one tied to the tree.
You flensed them.
Right. I'll start putting some
It's
heads
in
there.
my wheelhouse.
Exploded.
Put some heads in.
Nick will go, crap, and go back into the tunnel and get his sword.
Yep.
And now
Is there
I'm
any of
like,
the vegetables left over? I'll check the
Yeah, there's a
tents and
couple of
stuff.
vegetables. You see what looks to be like what was several days ago a pot of stew boiling in the thing is now sepsis.
Yep. So there's no like.
So this was the thing.
Maybe I'll just grab like for evidence, basically, just grab a bit of a
Yeah.
vegetable
Are
or
there,
something.
are there any like tracks leading away from?
Yeah, no.
Like,
Nick's-
is there
Nick's
anyone
going
that
after
we
Mordred.
Is there any?
Yeah, I'll do like an
Is this the
investigation to
thing
see
we're
if
meant to
there-
find
I
at the
reckon
river?
that's all of them.
Just
Yes.
second, sorry.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry.
Chris, what
Yeah,
was it?
Chris, you go.
Is
first.
this the thing we're meant to find next to the river?
Nothing to do.
The river is so all that
Way
happened with
further
the river was that the owner of the farm said these are the best vegetables south of the sea.
And actually,
They were just saying I grow good crops. So that was it.
So we weren't meant to head to the river.
Yeah,
No,
We are-
no,
That's
Stella
what
wants to
I'm
go to
just
the river.
Just
Oh,
to
okay.
confuse you.
I'm getting confused. My apologies.
So sorry, Drizella has
simple
latched
gnome.
onto the river for some unbeknownst
She
reason.
heard
It's
river and was
outside
Yeah.
the
Nick's
city.
gone after Mordred.
Steve, you're rolling.
It's
Weirdly
working.
enough, it's
I'm
awesome.
gradually
Yeah,
converting people to the river trip.
Yes, Steve, you don't find tracks. You're not super confident.
Yeah, I just want to have a look around to see if I like a perception sort of check to see if I reckon that there's anyone else in the camp that's just
Yeah,
not
give us
around.
perception.
Nick's gone into the tunnel to get his sword and then go after Mordred.
That's a 7. Perception. I'm gonna switch back to my dice.
Does this camp
I'm terrified of this one.
look
I'm
Terrified.
gonna start heading back.
like there's enough supplies for more people to be there potentially?
Survival check for that, definitely. You can add +2 because you're a ranger.
28, 18, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You are pretty confident that this
That's
this is it. This is a bunch of people. Any more, you need more supplies and rooms and that. Any less, this would be overkill on obviously there's not less people. What you do think, though, is that a lot of supplies here haven't been used in like a day or two. You imagine whoever was looking after this group lost their senses a day or two ago, and that they were not going to be coming back to town, or if they were, they would just be like attacking people.
I'm going to try Big as the next most sensible person who might actually leave town if the town is going to go to pear-shaped. So I'm going to try Big.
Yes.
Bad stuff is going to happen in this town tonight. So we need to get paid and get out of here before sundown.
What makes you think that?
The faceless soldier knows many things. Bad stuff is coming.
Have I heard of this faceless soldier thing before?
I'm going to do a secret religion check for you. What's your modifier?
Religion would be 0.
0. The faceless soldier is a part of the old religion. Cultists often worship the faceless soldier.
Okay.
That sounds
Is the extent
true,
of what
but
you
know.
loves it. So
Can we come back like the next day?
We could come back and see what's happened.
two of you in the tunnel.
Okay.
Could you please give me will saves?
Oh no.
Will.
That's not great. It's alright.
None
16.
will be.
15.
15. Nick, you pass out. You feel suddenly this heaviness come about you, and within a few moments, your head is on the ground.
Oh, there was a 16.
Mordred, you feel the same thing coming over you, but you manage to resist it enough. You're slow, so you have one less action.
Yeah.
But you're still awake, and you hear Nick clapping around.
I turn around and can I go over to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Try and shake
He's
his hand.
unconscious. You shake nothing happens.
Can I lay on hands?
Yep. That restores 6 hit points.
Yeah.
You do get the hit points back if you're missing.
I'm not seeing anything.
Cool.
I just want to try it mechanically.
What does that usually look like when you use
It usually looks like the threads that he has on his cloak that usually connect him to other people instead kind of knit up the person's wounds. So we golden threads.
That's kind of
You do that, but the light from the threads, and then it's usually a golden seems dimmer.
just
darker.
come on, you can do it.
Those
Like
of you
on-
outside the tunnel, so
Like, what's his name
Meredith,
from Karate Kid?
Gisela, Sibylla, and Bigby. You see the darkness from the bottom of the tunnel lifts up and forms into a cloaked figure who seems to be just hovering over the entrance to the tunnel.
Oh dear.
Who looks over to you and says, Drusilla Tremaine.
Oh, shit.
Oh no!
Is this
Yeah.
why you wanted to get out of
Am I
town?
conscious now?
No,
I'm not supposed to have warned you, I don't think. But,
we
you know.
owe you an apology.
Oh.
Our timeline has changed. You may stay tonight, leave tomorrow morning.
Do we all hear this as well?
You all hear this, you all see
Okay.
Do I hear it?
You do
What?
You hear something different related to this.
The hell is that?
This would be an extension so that you can carry on investigating things and getting paid as long as we can get out tomorrow instead. Thank you very much for the update.
There are forces that move against our God's will. Had you the faith we do, you would do well to aid us.
Sounds like a mystery.
Give me a religion, occultism, something like that sort of check. They will tell you different things.
What aid would you require?
Lewis Short must die today.
Oh.
24. This is a member of the Shadic Brethren. These, I'm going to say, with a 24, these things would visit your father occasionally. They are dark occult forces. Underneath this robe is nothing. They are simply a manifestation of will. They are somewhere between like a magical familiar or a construct. The term that would be used is probably atronic. They are darkness incarnate, living to do the will of their master, whoever that may be.
Like ring lights.
Little bit.
I would have said more Dementors.
Yeah.
Dementors have
Probably
a skull.
more-
Like
yeah,
they actually
probably
have
more
a thing.
ring
Ring wraiths don't have any.
If you know that if you were to walk up to this figure and pull down their hood, there wouldn't be anything over
Yeah.
Isn't that because
Okay.
they're invisible?
That would probably make Merida a bit nervous, knowing that they have
These
visited
are
her
bad.
father.
Like
and-
your father, like he deals with these when he has to, because they're not evil. They're
Yeah.
just they work in dark magic.
Yeah.
You know.
Like they're just literally dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dark magic doesn't mean evil
they're not
necessarily.
evil, but goodness
Yeah,
does
don't be
not,
so judgy.
is not evil.
How would
what-
you have me aid you?
Lewis Short must die.
Yeah.
Do a short.
Oh,
Okay,
Mordred is not going to
okay.
be happy about that.
What did he do wrong?
Nothing.
It's not
Nothing. So
No.
why does he need to die?
He must die today.
Nick's
For our
terrified.
goals to be achieved.
Today. Today it's not.
Today. He
Today.
must die
So
before
before
sunset.
Sunday.
Why does
Okay.
he must?
It's about 10:30, just for context.
Oh, yeah.
There are
Well, at least we'll get paid.
There is one who opposes us, who will uncover things that should not be uncovered, and will report them to Lewis Short, who will prevent them.
Someone other than me?
Someone other.
Okay.
You will not uncover us.
Challenge accepted.
That's pretty much me in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Wanna bet, bitch?
Do we know what their plan
Inside Drizella's plague mask, she just rolls her eyes and goes, "Oh, for God's sake! Of all the things you could have said, Shadow Dude." Okay.
We cannot command your allegiance, but we ask for it.
Okay.
And you see then
So if you don't kill him, they won't be angry. They'll just be very disappointed.
So horrifying magic
That's-
Nick can't
that's
handle.
worse.
Clandestine killing of
with the
people?
change
He's
of
in.
the wind and the light moving differently, they don't disappear, they don't sink back into the shadows, they simply seem to slowly cease to be. And you are again standing there with
They just
this
fade
sort of-
out of existence.
The one person, the two of you inside the tunnel. Nick will start with
Oh, here we go.
you. You feel cold water on your face.
You're back at Davy Jones.
Not again.
Davey!
You are again floating near the bottom of the sea. The skeletons of great ships lined with the literal skeletons of their crew. Dead men march about performing duties as you see David Jones.
Nick will rub the two spots on his forehead that are constantly itchy and go, I suppose it's good to see you again, Davey.
As you see, he says, "You're a busy man.
Well,
People are chasing you these days."
what, someone else is chasing me?
Indeed, there are three.
Not that I'm ungrateful, but why you give me such a warning?
I need your son, not them.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
It shouldn't.
I didn't think so.
You see, he walks up to you and, without particularly changing height, he begins to just tower over you as he says, "Do not die until it is your time."
Well, I don't plan on dying anytime soon, if that's any consolation to you.
You've got to get out of death free.
Well, I got you here. You know, just while we're talking, you know.
And you see you begin to wake up
I was going to ask you about the magic.
as you just hear this terrible sound of laughter turning into the crashing of waves, turning into what I imagine
Toilet
are
flushing.
Mordred's worried tones.
Nick will rub his... Go back to rubbing like he was in
I'm
the
sure
dream.
Mordred is not paying attention at all.
And he'll go,
Mordred,
I'm feeling
I
bad
hate
for
Davy
Mordred.
Jones.
tunnel is the wind suddenly picking up, howling down here like a hurricane as a crow's feather flies past, and then another, and another, and another, and another, and another. Until
Morgan.
they are drowning you in them as you feel something grab the front of your shirt, as through the things you see a great bird's head with 4 glowing white eyes open up its beak and scream at you.
He just tries to hide himself.
As you continue will saving throw, please.
11.
You are fear 2.
Yep.
You see in the eyes of this creature something you can't quite make out, but it looks like figure slowly approaching as this thing screams and then seems to lunge at you as it bites around your head and you, everything disappears.
And Nickel just muttering, "Fucking Davy Jones!
Back on the surface. What would you like?
You look as terrified as I am."
Let's go get paid.
You all head back into the tunnel to find a
Mordred's
sopping
just
wet
like against the wall.
Nick Jones and a freaked out Mordred.
That'll happen to you guys.
I got a visit from Davy Jones.
I was probably that shadow guy that came out of there.
Shadow guy?
Yeah, some shadow guy rocked up.
What did you see?
It's Crow.
You know what? You and I need to be closer to. We're terrified right now. This is. And what's with you ripping people's faces off?
You're having this conversation in the tunnel.
Well, as where?
You head on out, head
Yeah.
back into the walls.
Mordred is at least 10 meters away from everyone else.
Do you on the surface leave? Oh, you killed the goblin.
Yeah.
So good.
And we've got its head.
Weighted
Got
guilt,
its
that's
head.
my class ability.
You all come out back onto
I'm
the
just dragging
farm.
this massive bag full
The
of
sun
heads.
is shining.
Am I still feared?
Your fear condition fades.
Is the farmer guy hanging around, or is he back in the house? Should we
Yeah,
go back
you
to the
made a
house?
pretty quick job of it. You see, Paul Goodget is talking over to some of his workers and sees you coming back out and heads over your way.
While
Well-
they're doing this, Nickel actually slowly approached Mordred. You okay? You look as scared as I was when she did what she did.
I think you're all monsters. And I think
I
there's
did-
monsters everywhere.
I didn't do anything. I didn't get a chance. I was only going to punch them and knock them out.
You were the only other person in that tunnel.
I did.
Your
Whatever.
back's away. So
Whatever you saw, that wasn't me. I was dealing with David Jones. I was out.
Nick is dripping. sea.
Like I'm like seawater dripping at me. Like, where do you think the seawater come from?
Your
I
imagination.
don't know.
Paul at this point arrives. Casts an
I
odd look
stopped
to
laying on
these two
something.
No, it's alright.
Oh, it's good. It's good role play.
You're all good.
and looks over to Joseph with the
Yes.
bag of heads.
Guilt is an
We
unusual
did it.
feeling for
And here's some evidence of your veggies. Not much
Nick's
left,
guilty, he's a
unfortunately,
fright.
but
Didn't expect so. You see, he
but at
kind
least
of
it shows we got the
puts the
people
bag down.
responsible.
Very good. Well, I suppose we want to pay that.
Mordred's always been really
Yes, please.
nice to Drizelle, so
Hands you
Drizelle's
6 sacks of
got this sort of
silver.
unusual feeling.
Sweet.
of-
Thank you very much. Okay,
And
so
that's what-
Which
Another
appears to be
30.
low grade guild.
We are all getting paid,
you
yes.
Take the money.
I will.
There's an extra sack of 30 silver floating around.
Ah,
okay,
Let's split it up between
Why
the
is there
three
an
people that
extra?
actually did
Because
something.
Mordred doesn't want the money.
I think we
Of the
should.
remaining 5.
Well,
What
I'll
did
ask
you do?
Mordred. Hey, Mordred, do you
Did
feel
you
bad
attack
about
any of
having
them?
this
Did you
blood
kill any
money?
of them?
What didn't I
Did you
do?
say that to Mordred?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Do you feel bad about having this blood money?
I think you should keep it. Those
Sure,
murders
will
are on your
do.
head.
Yep, no problem. What about you, Mr. Saltwater?
I was gonna help, but I didn't get a chance.
So you don't mind keeping?
Oh no, I
having
want to
her-
get
she can
paid.
have your share. How about 10 gold for coming around the trouble? 10 for silver, I mean. 10 silver. And then she can have the other 20.
Oh, that sounds
Killed
really
2
fair.
of them.
Yeah, and then you can have 20 of his. First.
Why can't I
She's-
have some money?
What did you do?
Wow. Can I
Oh,
class?
we get Nickel turn and say,
Still giving you 10
so we're getting
silver.
paid by performance, are we?
Yes.
It would appear
Well,
so.
You see, Goodget before he leaves says, "I couldn't care any less."
Yeah, that's
Everything's
fine.
head
We'll
on.
deal with this.
Work well done, lad.
Thank you.
So we're not distributing the money
Oh.
evenly?
And he
Yeah,
throws
I,
it.
Actually, that would be a very communist way of doing things. Fine, everyone gets 30.
So
And
30,
he says, "Oh,
Except you don't want it, so I'll just keep my 30.
no, so we're
Throws it.
36.
Oh, thank you.
36 each?
Excellent. Huh? 36 each. No,
Well,
it's just 30.
We're splitting up.
Splitting
They're
up
30.
by 5.
Splitting margins.
I should get
Nick is literally
Listen,
I did all the work.
You're about to get a phase
Nick
ball
is
up the
literally
arse,
doing
mate.
this.
All the work.
Why?
All
you
the
did,
work.
You did a bit. You did a bit.
7.
7. Lovely.
I'm already starting to
I just had to
change my
roll a
mind about
perception
this
check,
whole
everyone,
communism.
so
I'm slowly becoming a capitalist.
Where?
That's going to be my character arc.
And when you want a healing salve,
Yeah.
I'll ask her. She's got my back.
Where to?
Okay, let's go
You
to.
wanted
Well,
to see the vicar, didn't you?
huh? Oh yeah, we do want to see the vicar at some point, but I wanted to get the third key.
Yeah.
Mr. Burton.
Where's this guy who needs to die?
He's the guy. He's the guy at the
Next week I
town
went
hall
to-
Yeah, yeah.
who's going to open the safe for us for the key. So we need to kill him after we've got the backup key.
Indeed. Yeah.
You know, Burton's Lumberyard is where the third key is. Oh,
Mhm.
Yep, where the third key is. You've also got the church.
Well, I guess the church is on the way. We might as well go to the church
Sure.
first.
I don't want to go in that.
I don't think you will go
Well,
on in a church after that.
Church, and then take him to the big boss, and then we go to Burton's Lumberyard.
Enjoy your trip to the
Temple's
church.
probably a more accurate word.
It's still a organized-ish religion, is it not?
Not particularly. It's old religion, so it's
So it's
Not
a bit
super.
closer to paganism.
very much so.
Okay, that's fine.
There do
Well,
exist
because-
organized religions in the
Yeah.
more southern parts
It's
of
just
the world.
okay.
but
Cool. They're the
they-
ones that I'm terrified of.
Yeah, no, this is
Going to
very
their churches.
old religion is very loosely on. This is more of a temple to one of the particular gods, but you know there'd be little epithets of many others.
Okay, that's fine. I can tolerate that kind of temple, but
Yeah,
any other
Vicar,
kind of
Vicar very specifically in that kind of like role as like the town councillor sort of thing.
not
Could
really
equally be
scary.
called a wise man.
Okay.
Do we offer counselling services?
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's going to be a very.
I mean-
It's going to be a very rough time
look,
for
look, Nick
I'm
could
feeling
probably
really
use some as
bad.
well, I'm not going to lie.
You head into
Mudder's
the
doing
church,
guilt
you
really
see,
well.
that indeed Vicar Father Rothwell, Vicar Rothwell, is present. You see him lighting some incense on a shrine. Ah, yes, you're back. What can I do for you?
We'd like to take you up on that offer to try to get rid of that illusion.
Yes, let me grab my spell casting kit. And you see he goes and produces a fine silver kind of rod.
The second that
Very
appears,
nice. Couple of
Nick
inscriptions.
starts scratching his forehead again.
There's a very different type of magic to yours.
It's still, it's magic. It's making him nervous.
You see, he takes that and says, let us go. He walks very slowly towards the big box, giving you a bit of a history on the Immaculate Church of the Goodly Father's Left Running Band. So named after, supposedly, many, many years ago, before my time indeed, the Goodly Father himself wandered through this town and left behind a ring. But we did so lovingly bestow, and you would see in the church there was a great requiem, great place in which that ring is displayed in a glass case.
So that's the relic of
That's
the
the relic
church.
of the church, indeed.
Can I hang behind for a second?
The ring's a pretty good
Yeah,
relic.
sure.
Like I've seen.
Certainly
much
looks
worse.
like a fingernail.
Yeah, or a holy foreskin apparently. That's a common thing
It
apparently.
took 3 hobbits to transport a ring, so it must be pretty special.
Mordred, what are you up to?
Could I go to? Is there an altar or anything where one would pray to the Goodly Father?
Absolutely there is.
Like,
You could
yeah,
pray, you could
straight
pray at the
skull.
ring, or there would be a statue of the Goodly Father. Goodly Father, a rather merry figure, kind of big beard, like suspenders, very humble clothed.
I'll go up to the statue,
Mhm.
and I'll kind of sit before it, and I'll say, I know that the gods are meant to offer guidance in dark times, and I don't really know what I should do. I need someone to give me some guidance.
You have an inclination, not quite a feeling, a sort of thought, that there's more of this to come.
Yes.
Right.
So basically the same.
This is just
I
the
mean,
beginning.
the accuracy.
He's like, oh.
This place has all the shrines for all the different gods. Yeah.
Not all of them, but there are many different.
There's one that looks like Nick.
There's the
The
down.
one that I know that's meant to represent Navy Jones.
Yeah, the Goodly Father is the name to the landlubbers, but yes, David.
Yeah.
David.
Nichols, as he walks past him, just gives a bit of a heebie-jeebie
Will
shot.
put his cloak fully on, which he doesn't usually do.
Wonderful. You all head over to the big box. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because there's not a
Just
lot of
One more thing.
Mhm.
Nick will walk up to him. What are you praying to Davy Jones for?
I was praying to
different
the
god.
Goodly Father. Yeah. Do you still ask the question?
Goodly Father, Dower Uncle, Mary Mother, 11 or so others.
Secret sister.
Second sister, yes. The annoying nephew.
Other thousand.
The short version is that the vicar can't dispel the spell himself, but can guarantee critical success help action. So we'll do +2 to a dispel check.
Oh, okay.
While he's there.
Well, I'm not a spellcaster, so I don't think I can do that.
Afraid you can't have spells.
It's down to
Which?
You also weren't here last time, so can you try?
You certainly can.
Can I try what? Sorry.
Dispelling this
magic.
magic. There is an illusion upon
You
this
can.
room.
So your
I did
spellcasting
listen to it.
modifier is occultism, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. So can I get an occultism check from anyone who wants to try it?
Occultism check. Anyone
22.
You add another 2 to that for a 24.
I'm
From the
going
vicar?
to use a hero
Afraid it
point.
doesn't quite cut it.
I'm going to use a hero point.
I'm going to use my
Nick doesn't know.
as well.
Nick doesn't consciously know enough about
Wait,
it.
what are you trying to beat?
20.
Well, I've already done it, haven't
They're trying to beat 20. You're trying to beat a much higher.
I'm going to use my prophecy's pawn.
Alright.
Oh my goodness.
My hero point
This
as well.
needs to succeed. That's even worse. So,
Yeah, my second roll is worse as well.
yeah.
Nick isn't consciously aware of his magic enough.
No, my second roll is worse as
Yep.
well. God damn.
So you get plus to that, you get +2 from the investigation, so that's 26.
Mhm.
You can also get additional scores if you know what type of magic was cast here, when it was cast, and who it was cast by.
Oh, we know it's...
You know it's not arcane, you know it's not cast by Thorin Black, and you know it's not cast on the day he disappeared. Would you like to take a guess at any of those 3 things? The other types of magic, you've tried arcane, the other types of magic are occult, which is what witches cast, nature, which is what rangers and druids cast, and religion, which is what clerics cast.
I? Well, I'd check it's a cult.
Yep, you want to check if it's a cult?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And can we go with the what's the name of the
It is
the actual treasure himself?
Thorin Black.
Oh, that's the one we tried.
You know,
Okay,
it's not
sorry.
Thorin Black. It
Okay.
is indeed occult magic.
Yeah.
So that adds another 2, gets you to 28.
Try Mr.
Sorry, that adds 3, so that's 29.
Try Mr. Longshore.
Because I'm trained in occultism. I'm like all over that
Yes.
shit.
Yeah. Not Mr. Longshore, I'm afraid. Would you like to try a different time? You know, it's not 1 week ago when the treasure disappeared. It's largely a stab in the dark. That's what we have.
What about it?
Yeah, much
There you
more
go.
recently.
You
Yeah.
try a day ago, does not cut it, I'm afraid. With a 29, it is not dispelled.
Jesus.
More powerful magic.
We need more clues.
If I was to burn a hero point and roll again,
What did you roll on the dice?
15 plus 7.
Conceivably, you could well roll above a 15, yeah.
That's an actual 20.
Sibylla!
Boom!
Sibylla has told you before, and this is where we'll end the session. Sibylla has told you before that they are much older than they look.
Yeah.
And in this moment, you see the expertise of a trained sister of the Kruthic Order reaches out into this illusion. This is your style of magic, cultism. You look at this, you instantly know that this was the work made by a Fae. Powerful Fae. Not directly. It's not a Fae glamour, it's something adjacent. Probably they've used a scroll or a rite or something like
I
that. to
want
put
to
this
say
in.
more. Would that help in trying to narrow it down?
Might do later. You reach out and you know how to get rid of this, and you pull the illusion away. As you do so, you know it was cast by a Fae. As I've said, you know it was also cast 3 weeks ago. which is 2 weeks before the treasure disappeared. And as you pull it away, the apartment's true form is revealed as it is in disarray. The kitchen is full of rotting food. The bed has been the mattress has been flipped and cut open. There's, dowling everywhere. The desk has been turned on its side. Papers strewn the floor. A mice runs about. It's clearly been wrecked and run through.
Did you just do that?
It's incredibly clear. They reach there. There's a great whirl of arcane power. Roll for a fear condition. In fact, will save, please. You break through an incredibly powerful illusion. That was a very tricky roll to pass note.
That 25.
You stay your fear as you see one of your allies wielding this power.
No, actually,
as you dispel an 8th level spell.
Whoa! Now, he's both
Incredible.
He's both afraid but heavily impressed, and he's like,
It's not going to do anything.
But-
Hey,
Hero points for everyone.
"Hey, magic can do that.
Magic can say.
Magic can do that and so much more.
Maybe some magic isn't all bad."
when she did that,
That was really cool.
Absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still scared, but that was cool.
Can I look at the food and see how long I reckon it's been left for?
About 2 weeks. I won't take
So
it.
2-3 weeks.
It's rotted, the bread's got maggots in it. The cheese is
Especially
gone.
now
It's
I've
not
got
looking
36.
good.
So longer than Old Mate's been missing.
Yeah.
2
Well,
weeks longer
supposedly.
than it's been
Yeah, wow.
which is suspicious. It's pretty clear no one has been in this house for the last 3 weeks.
What?
Okay, he's the guy. He went missing 3 weeks ago, but then someone took on his form.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a perception check real quick.
Yep.
You, with this illusion, that counts as a major clue to the case, so you can now add 5 to these checks.
Okay, that's
You can give it a
Who's
try.
the
Yep.
person
You also
saying
know
it?
these clues, so plus 5s, perception checks.
Perception,
Is it Thori Black? The person missing?
plus
Yes.
5 to it.
Plus 5.
23.
That counts as a help action. Add an additional 1. What do you do?
26, 27, 28.
Absolutely, that counts. Another 1.
I'm putting it together that the time frame's not matching, and clearly someone was impersonating him.
Mordred's too
Well, I don't know if that's clear at this stage.
Well,
That's-
it'd be easy to extrapolate as a pirate and as a criminal.
I'm not helping with that.
I'm not. Maybe.
I'm not helping with that.
Cool.
I am looking around this apartment and seeing if I can find any evidence of a dead body or a struggle or blood or...
For sure, give us a separate perception check.
Fine.
Adding the 5 from the clues, 2 from different people aiding you. What's that total?
Done.
19.
19? With
Yeah,
that's
I rolled a 7.
that's unfortunate. With 19, did you say?
Yeah.
Still enough to find. You see a small glass bottle with a cork stopper in it with a label on. As you go over it, looks like the sort of thing you get from an apothecary, a chemist.
Yeah.
As you see, the front of the copy is a prescription written for Thori Black for medicine. Looks like there's about 5 or 6 days of 5 or 6 pills left in there. It doesn't say exactly what it's for, but it's written for Thori Black, prescribed from the local apothecary.
22.
22.
Yeah.
There are no bodies. However, you do find in amongst. You do find something interesting. As you go into the bathroom, you notice that the cupboard full of like important stuff. So like his comb, his toothbrush, like his
Medication.
yeah, and more like his soaps and that sort of thing. It's only be quite expensive to replace. Were there when you looked through the first time, are now gone.
Medication. Fucking needs.
Could we
I point that out.
Yeah.
determine if
His soap
we can
is gone.
figure out if a fae was impersonating?
Without seeing the impersonation, really difficult. I'll let you do a Fey lore check to see if this like matches for any sort of like
Yeah.
MO, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Dirty 20?
It's hard to say, you know, so people being grabbed and disappeared is not uncommon. They do that reasonably often. if what it sounds like you're thinking of this idea of them being impersonated for a time, there are Fae that could do that. It would be odd for them to do it to someone this important, though. Like when you replace someone, people you want to replace are people who know very few people, who are isolation.
Is it odd for them to leave this much like that?
That's the other thing that's odd is that this apartment, there's not been a fight here. Someone's like ransacked the place by the look of it, almost like they were searching for something, which is weird as well because a Fae that was powerful enough to put an 8th level illusion, they could kill a treasurer with a thought.
Yeah.
That would not be. There would not even be a fight. There would be a. They'd be alive, then there'd be a corpse.
So could I kind of
It
use that
doesn't
information? No, could I use that information to kind of determine if? No, I probably wouldn't. To try determine if they were trying to aid someone else, like if they were contracted. But that's probably really abstract.
Pretty hard to get a referral from that. What? Here's the thing. If this is fake, because you don't know if it is. You know, if they cast the glamour, cast the spell, but could be multiple things happening. It's really odd behaviour for a Fae. This is not how they normally operate. Normally, if this was something that like had replaced them, they'd grab a tiny child, or they would take, one of the farm workers who didn't know anyone in particular, not a major central figure, someone who's going to be noticed if they have inconsistencies and changes in behaviour.
Merida would voice that concern to the group.
They grab someone
very odd.
I recognize one of my treating
and they grab someone.
Deal with someone of
How do you
this.
describe
Maybe it's not the same,
Mordred's
but-
sleeping habits?
I don't believe so, unless they
Mordred's
were
sleeping habit.
under contract
You
or
open the lid
Maybe-
to this,
maybe
and
someone-
you instantly
someone we
recognise
got
the
did a
smell
deal
of
with the Fae to get
lilac
this spell created.
a common
that is
scent.
a
It would have to be.
large potential.
It would have to be
Okay.
someone that knows this story back really, really well.
At
What?
this point, it is 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap up.
I just add in
Lots to think
character.
on, lots to bit. Yep. Look.
Tap speak beyond the knee. You still happy to portion rewards based on effort?
Love that.
What a good